Good morning, good morning. Let me get rid of this intro. What's going on? What's going on? Get rid of this intro. What is going on? I'm back. All right, so we sounding good here. Zedric, what's going on? Good morning. Sound is good. Charmaine, good morning. Asante, what's going on? Brett, what's going on? You know what it is. Slightly late today. Beast, what's going on? Good morning. Yeah, I was up late doing a lot. If you were on the Patreon, did you watch the Shedeur skit? The RDC skit? Is that the one you talk about, Beast? I did watch that one. That one was hilarious. I was up late traveling yesterday, got home, wanted to make sure I got my breakdown of the all Shedeur's fourth quarter throws last night, so I got that up on Patreon. That's for everybody. That was a free access. The media is imploding this week. We got Matt Barnes going at people, so I had a lot of work to do, y'all. I had a lot of work to do. Detroit Gemini, good morning. Happy Friday to you as well. Also, Detroit Gemini, I saw your TikTok. I saw your message on TikTok. So I liked your message, and I also followed you on TikTok. I followed you over there. Good morning, Miss Pamela. Good morning, C.A. Anderson. Seattle in the house. Good morning, LaTanya. Yes, that's right. Shedeur won Rookie of the Week. It was more. He was more worthy of winning it than the last Browns rookie quarterback who they nominated for it. We ain't gonna say no names though. Good morning, Ms. Brown. D, why do the hating Cleveland media keep moving the goalposts? You know what? Asante, that is a wonderful question. I also got a very similar question. I got a very similar question from Zedric on Patreon that I'm going to get to because I got the answer for y'all. I got the answer. Yes, please play Matt Barnes. Stay on that side. When Shanithia sent me that on Patreon, and I watched it, and I said, hold on, Matt. That sounds real familiar, Matt.
Everybody stay on that side when they switched up. You switched up, stay on that side, man.
I said, that sounds real familiar. I had to do that video breakdown on Patreon because the language they use it would mess me up. It would mess me up over here on YouTube. It would mess me up over here, but we got that over on Patreon. Shedeur Sanders save Kevin Stefanski's job. I don't want that to happen, Charmaine. I want this to happen.
You about to lose your job.
That's what I want to happen.
You about to lose your job.
C. Brown Run, good morning. Shanithia, good morning.
Broncos country, let's ride. Broncos country, let's ride.
Marie, good morning.
You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job.
Shedeur has already proven he should be the starter next season. If Brucey Gabriel was playing like this, they would crown him next year's starter. Talk to him, Asante. Talk to him. The conversation they don't want to have. Detroit Gemini. Now, I'm not saying people sit and watch my whole podcast, but I do believe there are some people who see my clips and they look and say, hey, that's not a bad take. Because it was very specific. It was something I've been saying for a couple weeks now. And shout out to Matt Barnes. He really he boxed Acho in with his critique of Acho. And Acho gave the lamest, worst response I've ever seen. We're going to get to it, though. Good evening, D. All the way from Switzerland. I have to always tune in whenever you're live. Jermaine, I really, really, really appreciate you. Shout out to you, man, for being here. Shout out to you. You see that AI Sanders and Judy sideline fight? Nah, I didn't see it. I didn't see that. R Jizzle, what's going on? Slightly turn this. It's been a lot. I was putting this show together, and I was going to have this whole show based on the Emmanuel Acho, Matt Barnes situation, and we was going to break it down in layers. And then I was like, you know what? Who wants to listen to Emmanuel Acho dancing all over the place in his takes? And I was like, I'm not going to do that to y'all. I didn't even want to put myself through it. So I went all the way back to when Emmanuel Acho was on Fox Sports, and I was going through all of it. And I was like, I'm not going to make y'all suffer through that. It was hard for me just to watch it, y'all. It was hard for me just to watch it. Clyde, what's going on? Good morning. Morning from Chicago. And the temperature is 30 degrees and sunny with 0 clouds. Admittedly, I once posted for Shedeur to be traded to the Bears. Why? Ben Johnson play calling fits Shedeur. Ben Johnson is so creative. I really like what he does in the run game. He used so much eye candy to get you off you doing what you're supposed to do. So I'm a big Ben Johnson fan. Big Ben Johnson fan. Donnie King, all the way from Netherlands again. Donnie King, I appreciate you. So the show I put together, I had to scrap the show. And I said, I'm not going to make y'all listen to Acho that long. There are a few points of Achos we're going to break down. But to me, I think it's a clear and simple thing. Clear and simple. Yeah, Detroit Gemini. I was like, I can't put y'all through that. I'm like, it's not even fair to y'all for me to just dunk on Acho like that. It's not worth it. That's not going to be entertaining for anybody. And in the end, we all going to be sitting there like, we already saw this from him. We already knew this how he was. So this is not really going to be like that. Marie. Marie. I did see that. Let me get this poll up for y'all real quick. Let's word this a little bit better. All right, let's go. Matt Barnes or Acho. I did see that. The media, Cleveland media is in shambles, y'all. I hope y'all see it. Cleveland media is in shambles. People are pulling receipts. That's why on Wednesday's episode, I highlighted people pulling receipts. And I said it in May, the media is not going to know what to do when they start pulling receipts on them. And I played it for y'all. They don't know what to do. Did you see Deion like an Instagram post where Deion liked Jamie Foxx's post when Mary Kay tried to give Kevin Stefanski credit for Shedeur's growth? I'm glad Jamie Foxx is calling it out as well. Yes, put it all out there on display. It's not right that people should be allowed to get things wrong, to lie, to slander, to tarnish your name, tarnish your image, to insult your intelligence by saying Shedeur Sanders. And just the first thing they told us was Shedeur could not recite the play. It was almost like he was speaking in a different language. And now, when all of that was proven false by Shedeur's play on the field, now you want us to call off the dogs, don't attack us, don't put a receipts on us. We were just taking information that they was giving us. That's a y'all problem. That is a y'all problem. So I say we gonna keep going. Yeah, we're good on Acho, now trying to act like he was always supportive of Shedeur. That's right, Zedric, which in fact he was not. Acho is loud. He is. I'm going to break down in the different ways how Acho himself has proven that he's lost this interaction with Matt Barnes. We're gonna get to it, though. We're going to get to it. Acho is looking for a better job by selling out certain people. I agree with that. And he's always playing that contrarian. That contrarian doesn't look good on him now. Tessa, what's going on? They blame Shedeur Sanders fans. That's a fact. Now, as long as y'all have been a fan of any sport, not just NFL, NBA, baseball, hockey, soccer, golf, even if you watch NASCAR, have y'all ever heard somebody try to police what the fans do and say? Have y'all ever heard that? Ever? It just don't make sense. Mary Kay is glazing hard for Kevin Stefanski. Yeah, she's in shambles. She don't know what to do. She's in shambles. It's just Maya. What's going on? My bad, Asante. I thought I shouted you out. If I did it, my bad. You know it's all love, Asante. Shout out to you, Asante. I appreciate you. You know it's all love. That's why when Sean King was saying y'all don't have to do this and he's good enough on his own. No. I don't like these line leader people. And it's line leader people all over the place. And now they're telling the fans, you can't be a fan. So think about this. Not since I was a little kid did somebody tell me something and I couldn't do anything with the answer. I couldn't correct it. I couldn't change it. I had to accept it. When I was a little kid, y'all know what your parents say. Why do I got to do this? Because I told you so. As a kid, you got to accept that. You got to take it. You got to just hold that L, whatever they tell you to do. As an adult, you get to ask questions. So now when you ask questions, they're trying to do, you should have believed me because I told you so. And it's like, nah, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. You got to explain your reasoning for taking us down through the valley and through the woods and all this stuff about Shedeur was this, and this, when proving he was none of that. You got to explain yourself. You got some explaining to do. Detroit Gemini, never ever. Facts. I am this Persian, don't dish out what you can't take. I am of this persuasion, don't dish out what you can't take. See it, Anderson? Please, you can write that in the chat 30 times. You can write that in the chat 30 times. So that's kind of the Emmanuel Acho situation. Oh, that was for Zedric. Okay, got you. Okay, got you. I always recognize as a person who's going to put his face on camera, as a person who's going to give opinions and views on things, people can come back and say something to me. They can come back and say something to me. If I say I think this is going to happen in a sports game and I get it wrong, they can come back and say you was wrong there. I expect that. I don't take it personal. I know what it is. People going to hold receipts. I'm cool with that. For some reason, the media does not believe you should hold receipts on them. They think that they should be the ones who get paid to speak on sports, who don't learn more about the sport they're covering, who don't do any research to understand people, and we just got to let it go. Where would that work at? Where would that work? Where would it work, y'all? All right, Mary Kay lost her last bit of credibility when she gave Stefanski credit for developing Shedeur. That's a fact, Asante. That's a fact. Every time I hear them say call off the fans, I think about Anita Baker told Babyface to call off his fans when she kicked him off the tour. Hey, you can't reverse it. It's out there now. Sean King is trash. Keep sucking and stop trying to play both ends from the middle. That's a fact, C.A. Anderson. Did you see a post? I can't remember who posted it. I saw it yesterday where it was a pic of AB, and they said that AB has Shedeur's back, and Dion liked the post, so now we know for sure what's up. I also saw Boog on X. Somebody asked him a question, and they said blink twice if AB is the one who wanted Shedeur, and Boog put the two looking eyes afterwards. So this is something that I saw from the beginning. I know who wanted him, who didn't want him. You could tell by the interactions. Even when Shedeur got the speeding ticket and AB seemed like he kind of took that personal, where he was saying, hey, we just got to do better. That's not smart. To me, I took that as he was the one who went out there and said we need to get Shedeur. So this is what I've always seen. I'm happy it's finally coming to the light where people are seeing it how I saw it. But I always saw it that way. I knew it wasn't the owner. I knew it wasn't Kevin Stefanski. I knew it. They were disrespectful, and now they don't want to deal with the smoke. No, apologize. Just want people to stop. Don't play around the honeycomb if you don't want to get stung. Shanithia, that's a fact. That's what it is. If you would have just watched the tape, If you would have watched the film, if you would have watched it during college, you would have never said majority of the things you said. Now you're twisting yourself in a pretzel because you were believing Kevin Stefanski, and I always called Kevin Stefanski's credibility into question. I always did, because I was like, he hasn't done nothing for us to believe him. He don't know what he's talking about. Now everybody looking at him saying, Stefanski don't know what he's talking about. So why should we ever have believed him, y'all? Why? Don't dish out what you can't take 30 times. Talk to him, C.A. Anderson. That is exactly it. That is exactly it. I like that. The media just learned that fans are not going to sit around and let them tell us any old thing. I agree, Maya. They're seeing it in real time, and they can't really deal with it. They kind of crashing out. They're not aware of their new surroundings. Everyone pushes back on the old guard because they mainly push propaganda, no matter how credible you were prior to. Fact, Cedric. The Cleveland Brown coaching staff do not want 12 to succeed. They need to trade Shedeur or offer to the Cleveland Browns. I'm sorry to say, you need to leave that city. I'm going to tell you, shout out to you for the comment, Brandon, but this is how it goes. When you find somebody who you believe could be a franchise quarterback, the coach is always going to go first. The coach is always going to go first. The coach is always going to go first. So now that the coach is going to be out of there, Shedeur is going to be a different story. It's going to be a different story. Haslam told us AB wanted Shedeur. Facts. So I was saying AB wanted Shedeur before Haslam said that. Then when Haslam came out and said that, I said, okay, we see Kevin Stefanski don't really rock with him like that. So Haslam said, hey, that's on AB. So should we believe him then? It just don't make sense, y'all. When do we believe him? Key Mathis, what's going on? Welcome in. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. It's not just about college, 12-play quarterback in practice, so they know he is good. What they did to him was by design. You got to call it like it is. Brandon, I'm not trying to be rude. I don't know if you're new here. But I'll just say a couple things. To that. I've been the one that's been calling out the Browns all year before anybody else saying Kevin Stefanski got to go before the season started. I was the one who said I wanted the Browns to pick Shedeur Sanders at number 2. I've always been the one who's been at the front of the line calling out the Cleveland media and the national media on how they treated Shedeur. Now, I understand that I'm going through a growth phase, so I'm going to have new people, but just know, just read the room, look at the comments, you will see. I am not for what happened to Shedeur at all. I am not for it at all. I'm not for it at all. I'm not for what happened to Shedeur. I want Kevin Stefanski gone. It was a time I wanted AB gone. AB has knocked this draft out of the park, so he's not going anywhere. But yeah, I'm not one of those people and also I don't dance around it. I just tell you how I feel. So I can always tell. That's why I said that's why we have a conversation here. We're gonna talk back and forth. It's not one of those where I'm not one of those people who just doesn't see the chat. We have a true conversation here. I do have stuff that we go through, but it's a true conversation. So yeah, I'm not for these people. I am not for these people. Not at all. James Woodard, what's going on? I think I missed a couple. Tessa, that's a fact. Jimmy Haslam is saying this, y'all.
I got money.
You seeing all that money he bringing in? He's seeing that influence he has. His grandkids got the Shedeur jerseys on. He know what it is. If only I could have a job where I don't have to be good at it and keep my job. Shanithia, talk to him. Talk to him. That's what it is. That's what sports media is. So they've been doing things this way for so long that now when they get called out, they're like, how dare you call me out on being wrong? Nobody has ever called me out on being wrong in 21 years. They take offense to it. They take it personal when they've been wrong so much. Book said on UCSS, both Coach Prime and Shedeur Sanders fell in love with Mr. Berry before the draft. The signs were there, C.A. Anderson. The signs were there. Now we're questioning anything that they've reported in the past. They've shown their true colors while covering Shedeur. That's a fact. Question everything. I question everything first. If something seems a little off to me, I question it first. I don't wait to question it later. I'm questioning stuff in the moment. Like, something is off about this. and y'all will hear me because y'all will know. I'll say, this is how I feel about it. I'm willing to be wrong on this, but this is what my gut is telling me. So I question everything. Yeah, I agree. I also think it wouldn't have happened without Haslam. I think Haslam and AB wanted Shedeur. That's why he let AB make this chess moves to get Shedeur on the field. I like that point, Marie. I like that point. He said, hey, if we got to move some pieces out the way, move them out the way. Kenny Pickett? Who? Joe Flacco? Who? Who? Also, Acho thinks Dart is better than Sanders, and I just don't see it. That's Tessa. He has some of the craziest takes. That's why I said, like, if I would have went through all the crazy takes he had, it would take too long and it would just be boring for everybody. It's all good, Brandon. It's all good. To make that payment on a new stadium, they need Shedeur. Talk to him. How did Stefanski developing when he had 5 reps with the ones? Donnie King, that is a question that needs answers. How did Shedeur develop him when he never had reps with the ones? That's a question that needs answers. We need answers to that question, Donnie. AB is looking for a new head coach and O-lineman, and he's looking for some receivers or Jizzle. Did you see Bentonio dissing Shedeur in his presser yesterday? He isn't going to block for Shedeur on Sunday. I didn't see that. Did y'all see that? Is he tripping like that? Bentonio can't be. He got to be smarter than that. Haslam was covering for the Watson trade and got all the blame. He wanted everyone to believe he's not like Jerry Jones. I still think it was both of them. Jerry Jones, Kmart edition. Not the Kmart edition. He couldn't even be the Walmart. He couldn't be the Great Value brand. He had to be the Kmart edition. Man, oh man. Oh, talk to him. Where did I leave off at? I think I'm about here. All right. Selmo Fudd, what's going on? Tell him D. Stefanski is gone. Shedeur is the franchise QB, and they know it. Those teams wanting him now is because their team sucks or is struggling, and he ain't on that. That's a fact. Kevin Stefanski, you can tell that Kevin Stefanski realizes it's over for him. That's why we seeing all these feelers that he might be ready to move on and all that stuff. Kevin Stefanski reading the room, it's over for him. Jimmy is publicly neutral, but privately he has picked his side a while ago. I agree with that, Zedric. I agree with that. Shedeur was supposed to go to the Browns in the first round, but due to the NFL falling out of prime, they took him in the 5th round. He was always supposed to go there. This is what I thought. I thought Shedeur was going to go 2. When they announced the trade that a team was traded back into the first round, I thought it was the Browns. When the Browns were not traded back into the first round, I was like, okay, the Browns are either going to take Shedeur at 33 or 36. That was the way I saw it. I did not see Shedeur going in the 5th round. I didn't see that. Question read and reread. Media crashing out because the story has changed. It's hard to change your tune mid-game when the actual NFL season's going on. Shedeur Sanders is too compelling. That's a fact. They stubborn, stuck in their ways, can't switch. The owner said what he said just in case Shedeur was a bust, but his own grandchildren had to pull grandpa's coat about Shedeur. Hey, had to tell him, hey, he good. He is good. Tell him he is good. Yes, because I see several Cleveland Browns shows that people in the radio station shield for the owners. Bad decision when it comes to 12. I was so mad when I guess as Dart was playing and I know 12. Yeah, I'm not one of those. I've been going at them for the longest. Acho is just saying stuff to get attention and clicks. That's a fact. The powers to be hate the culture, but they love Shedeur. I agree with that. Acho trying to get back on mainstream TV. He trying his hardest. Dart is going to have a short career because he won't slide. I agree. He has to change how he plays. I figured it was AB when Shedeur was on draft night call after he was selected. He asked Stefanski to put Mr. Berry on the phone because his dad wanted to talk to him. Great memory. I remember that as well. What 11s? What's going on? Welcome in. Shady said Dart was better too. I don't think so. Dart is not a smart QB compared to Shedeur. So Jackson Dart, I'll tell you all why I wasn't as high on Jackson Dart coming into the league. He came out of Lane Kiffin's offense. Lane Kiffin's offense eliminates multiple decisions being made by the quarterback. The quarterback doesn't even have a cadence or a snap count in Lane Kiffin's offense. They just clap. They look at the sideline. They're not reading the defense. So I was not high on Dart because even if he has athletic tools, he was never responsible for reading and seeing what was happening on the field. The coach is that good where he was just breaking them in step by step. You don't have that many coaches who are that good offensively who are going to be able to replicate that in the NFL. Shady, when I went back and I was going through all of the stuff that they said previously, Shady was the one who sounded the exact same the entire time. Even Chase Daniels, who was so excited about his Shedeur breakdowns, he is one of the ones who was saying Shedeur had to make the team, and I thought it was egregious. Acho, tell Joy I said hi. Facts. Bentonio sounded like he's ready to retire. It's over for him. Dart be running and not passing. Charmaine, that's a fact. 12 is doing what he's doing with little practice time with the starters. A lot of haters don't want to point that out. He is ridiculous. He's at a ridiculous level right now. I agree. I didn't see that question. It's hard for them to be crashing out. All eyes are watching. It's hard. They don't want the attention. Our Jizzle. Hey, he gonna be here. Y'all got Anthony Richardson. If they were smart, they would pick Hunter and Shedeur Sanders. They had the opportunity. I'm on the phone with AB right now. AB, hang up. AB, don't answer. The sad thing is I wanted Shedeur out of there, but I think Shedeur wants to sit there. Yeah, it's the cleanest and clearest path for him to be the starter. Cleanest and clearest path. He saw it beforehand. He bet on himself. I always respect and appreciate people who bet on themselves. That's what Shedeur did. That's what he did. One thing about Shedeur that makes him great already is that he will always keep his team in the game no matter what. You will always feel you can win with him. Totally agree. Dart had nothing on 12, and I like Dart as a prodigy. That's what his talent. But the Cleveland Browns right now, they don't deserve him. Yeah, the Browns don't deserve him, and they kind of stumbled into this situation with him. Yep, that's what Gruden said in his QB camp video with Dart. Or Jizzle, you know what it is. I watched that breakdown too, and I was like, you don't have a cadence? You just clap? Okay. Everything I look at Shedeur, he looks so locked in. He's serious. He is in this. This is what he's about. I'm telling you, it's getting ready to get dangerous. Wet 11s, I agree. Don't forget, contract-wise, the Browns hit the jackpot. No different than the Patriots, Rams teams. Do y'all know what it will be put around? Do y'all know what it will be put around Sanders before he gets his big payday? Open your mind. That's a fact. That's why I don't think he's going nowhere. He solved so many problems. If Shedeur is just a top 15 quarterback in the league, he solved so many problems. Shady definitely filled 12 because Shady had that swagger. Facts. No football person expected Shedeur to drop out of the first round. When he did, something was off because QB needy teams passed on him. There was clearly some sabotage and hate going on. Tool man, what's going on? And those are all facts. Good morning, sir. Driving, so I'll just listen. Always a pleasure to listen to a reasonable conversation. Tim Moss, I appreciate you, and be safe out there, man. Tim Moss, be safe out there. Wait, what? Dart don't have a cadence now? So John Gruden sits down with quarterbacks prior to they come into the league, and he kind of interviews them. They go over stuff on a whiteboard, and John Gruden said, all right, give me your cadence when you go to the line. And Jackson Dart clapped his hand. That was his cadence because so much is done by Lane Kiffin in his design that they basically take all responsibility off of them. So I always looked at Dart as a more long-term prospect of being able to do something in the NFL. That's how I looked at him. All right, I got some stuff for y'all. Let's get to it. Great open to the show. I like y'all energy. Where we at? We need to be. Here we go. All right, so one of the perks of Patreon. So a lot of people use Patreon to put out additional content. I put out additional content on Patreon. Also, it's an access thing. So if you have questions that you want to be implemented into the show, if you have videos that you want to suggest for the show, you would do that through a paid membership on Patreon at both levels. If you are the super supporter like Charmaine, or if you're all access crew like Zedric and Shanithia, this is the access that you get to be implemented into the show. So this is one of the questions that Zedric sent me, and I was like, this question is too good for me just to answer it here. Is it cool if I use it on the show? So I thought this was a great question. Hello, Shedeur. My name is Tim McCarver. I played baseball for the St. Louis Cardinals. Upon my retiring, I became a sports reporter. Deion threw water on me. However, Kevin Stefanski married my daughter. Oh, my goodness. Yes, the infamous water. We were talking about that on Wednesday. Shedeur was way too talented and too much film showed an accurate, competitive QB that played on the team, making a uncompetitive team full of holes instantly a competitor with big teams. Talk to him. Shedeur wants to stay. He always knew Cleveland would be a place he could possibly go. Look back at the Will-Off video. That's a fact. That's a fact. All right, so let's get to this. This is what Zedric asked me this morning. He asked me this morning. Bill Musgrave speaking today. All right, we might get to Bill Musgrave. We might have to add that in. We got time. All right, so this is from Zedric. Have you seen Mary Kay have multiple takes this week on Shedeur's next 4 games? Tuesday, she said wins will be a factor. Then Thursday, she said it's not the wins, it's the growth. Think Breer is more concerned about his continual growth. Stefanski creating extra metrics like he has to win. What do you think? I thought this was a very good question. This also goes into what Marie said about Coach Prime liking Jamie Foxx's comment where Mary Kay was trying to give credit to the Browns for developing Shedeur. Jonathan Peterlin called this before it happened, and he said they were going to change it around and say the Browns developed him. We know Daryl from QB Select has been working with Shedeur throughout the season. Before he was starting on Mondays and Tuesdays, he was working with him. Then now that he's a starter, he's working with him on Tuesdays. So if you want to know who to give credit to, give the credit to QB Select for getting him together. That's who you get it to. You give it to QB Select. Daryl. That's who gets the credit. Now, this question. Mary Kay is a fish out of water right now, y'all. She is a fish out of water. So if you notice, Mary Kay, a lot of the times, she just speaks in terms that I don't even know if she fully understands. She just says what she's heard from other people. And I call that a microphone. She doesn't have an understanding. Do y'all remember when Dylan Gabriel was playing, and I specifically highlighted this, I said the standard for Dylan Gabriel from 92.3 The Fan was he's not losing the game. That's what they said. The standard was to not lose the game. The standard for Dylan Gabriel was to never win the game. It was to never get better each and every week. It was to not lose the game. Now, you go out there and say, Shedeur has to win. Shedeur has to win. That's cool. Hold everybody to that standard. So if the standard for Dylan Gabriel, who's a rookie quarterback who had won since the summer, was treated like a first-round pick, treat Shedeur the same way. Say Shedeur can't lose the game, or say Shedeur should need growth, because that's what the Browns want to see. Browns want to see growth. They're not putting it all on Shedeur to go win every game, because they know they have a head coach who is incompetent and in big moments managing the clock and dealing with the time and the play calls, he's going to screw it up. So it's not about winning. What they want to do is they want to say Dylan Gabriel went 1-3 or 1-5, whatever he went. I think he went 1-5. He went 1-5. Shedeur went, 2-6, 2-3, 2-4. That's what they want to be able to do. That's what they want to be able to do. So somebody like Mary Kay is not somebody who I take seriously what she says. Mary Kay is in a group of people who I really don't even show on stream anymore because there's no point. It would be bullying if I continue to break down the stuff Mary Kay said because she's that far off. She's that far off. That far off, y'all. So this shows you Mary Kay does not have a philosophy with how she speaks on situations. She wants to be the first person to get the news out, and she has a lack of understanding. A lack of understanding. That's all it is, y'all. A lack of understanding. That's why she flip-flopping. Her, Aditi, they flip-flopping. They all over the place. So y'all notice, I don't even show Aditi no more. There's no point. It will be bullying. I don't show Jake Crawford no more. There's no point because they don't understand what they're talking about. And once you realize that, a wise man once said nothing at all. So to them, I'll say nothing at all. But I did think this was a great question, considering how things are going. Considering how things are going in the Cleveland media. Let me get to some of y'all comments. Let's get to it. Where did I leave off at, y'all? All right, I think I left off about here. Sometimes our minds will not allow us to accept things that don't make sense. We tend to try to make it make sense, but the plans of God always make sense. I love it, C.A. Anderson. I love it. When somebody doesn't understand something, they diminish the value of it. Reps don't matter. Remember they were saying that? Shedeur got to go perform without reps. Reps don't matter. If reps didn't matter, why would they take reps all the way from the summer if reps didn't matter? So people diminish the value of things that they don't understand. And people are just exposing how they don't understand team sports and football. That's what it is. It's a lot of it. Is Stefanski married to McCarver's daughter? I always thought the media hated Dion over that water incident. All right, Zedric is saying no connection. Yeah, I didn't really look into it. I had a travel day and I had to get to y'all and I had to put, something good on for y'all. So I didn't dig into it. Talent like that isn't just special. It's playmaking, game changing special. True, man, I agree. I can give grace to people who want things to make sense, but stupidity will not be tolerated. Talk to him, C.A. Anderson. I don't know why my bot took your comment with 11s. Let's see. Yeah, my bot is tripping. Mary Kay is a mess. She reports everything Stefanski tells her. She needs a brain. Scarecrow from the Wizard of Oz. First thing that came to mind. Sorry, not sorry. Keith Hunt, Jersey in the building. Good morning. Good morning. Where we at? Shedeur's development credit goes to one person only, Daddy Prime. Every play he's out there, he hears his dad's voice. Do this, don't do that. No mic, no nothing. It's talent, repetition, and love. I totally agree with you, and that's actually something I said on Patreon. That's why I said, if you notice, some people, they look into the camera and they go to give Shedeur advice, and I'm like, why would I give Shedeur advice when I can't tell him nothing better than Coach Prime? I'm just being real with you. I can't tell him more than Coach Prime. Now, I know that QB Select is working with him. I also saw that he hears his dad when he's going through things, and I think people were afraid of that. People were afraid of that because they don't want you listening to Coach Prime. They want you to listen to them. The problem is Coach Prime knows more than them. That's the tug of war. Charmaine, you can say it. Charmaine says all those women sports commentators need to sit down somewhere. They just turned into microphones. Another 200-plus yard game, and he passed Dylan Gabriel in passing yards. Talk to him, Zedric. Talk to him. QB Select was in Forbes. Yes, I'm happy he's getting his shine now. Deshaun is running the scout team this week. What about Bailey Zappi? I don't buy him running the scout team. I don't think Deshaun is playing. Did you see the new well-off media with Dion and Shedeur? Beast, are you talking about where Coach Prime was seeing the rest of his place? He was showing them the rest of his house, and they were talking about in the basement what he wants to do. He wanted to get some turf, and he wanted to get a drywall man and all those things. If you're talking, I think that's the one that came out last night. That was the last one I watched. Boog is holding them accountable on social media. He is not playing with their lies. That's a fact, and I love it. I love it because when you were the person who sat quiet all this time, Boog kept saying, "Just wait till he get a shot, wait till he get an opportunity," and then now y'all gonna try to flip it and give them the credit. It ain't gonna work. So I love what Boog is doing. Boog is setting them straight. I love it. I like what he said to Anthony Lima. He said, "Hey, pull up. We want to see the receipts. Show us how they did it." I was done with Mary Kay during rookie training camp. I was done with Mary Kay before all this happened, and there was so many new people who wanted to speak on the Browns, and they were citing Mary Kay as a reliable source. And I just went out there early on and said, Mary Kay is not the source that y'all are looking for. Y'all have to get somebody who actually knows what they're talking about. I said that probably before rookie minicamp because I saw it was going to be a big thing and everybody was going to try to gravitate towards somebody in Cleveland. And I was like, Mary Kay is not it. The media don't like us because we're on their neck. That's a fact. Receipts. Wet 11s, they have a problem with receipts. They don't want it. We got CVS level receipts over here. So they don't want them receipts. Don't bring up what I said. Hi all. Tim McCarver is not related. The guy who did that is a facilitator of false narratives. Shout out to you for being here, CO7111. What's going on? I appreciate you. For Cleveland, Aditi and Mary Kay are just bad. Ashley is occasionally decent. Cameron, Josina, I rock with them. I'm on the same page as you. Same page as you, Shanithia. Shedeur gave Coach Prime all the credit in his latest presser. That's a fact. That's a fact. They want the credit. They want the credit for what they did not create. So that's not gonna work. Let's get to it, y'all. I got a throwback for y'all. I got a throwback. We got to take it back. This is something I said in May 31st. So I know I have new people who haven't seen videos that I was doing previously. So every once in a while, I'm going to incorporate something I said a while ago, just to make it clear how I always view situations and the side I was on. So let me show y'all something. Got something for y'all here. This is from May. So here we go. Like I said, I just find it weird that people want to tell people how to be a fan. So that's just weird to me. We're going to move on along to the next video. Shock the world. Let's see. We're going to go. This is another one. So last week, I started to show y'all how they want the Shedeur stimulus package by speaking on Shedeur, but they don't want the backlash when they don't do things, when they don't report things that are clear and true and honest. And I said this in May, y'all. I said this in May. In May, I said they want to control the fans. In May, I said they don't want the backlash when they get things wrong. I said this months ago because this is how the world works now. People fact check. What was the hottest saying that people said during the pandemic? Do your own research. Do your own research. Now they want to be upset that you're doing your own research and calling out what they say. Ain't that something? How things change? Mary Kay thinks she's famous now. Jamie Foxx tweeted at her. Famous for all the wrong reasons. Famous for all the wrong reasons. Dad was real with him, hard on him, and it's a connection with the legendary defensive mind in the QB. He did a hell of a job. I don't see Shedeur having any unfixable issue except one. He will always look deep. And I don't mind that. It's risk versus reward. Risk versus reward. B says, the dog podcast like Shedeur. They like Shedeur now. They like Shedeur now. The funny thing is, that's a funny thing. So I was even in this same video before I just showed y'all what I showed y'all. I was saying something against what the dogs had just said. I'm not going to put y'all through playing it, but I'll just show you. I was talking about them in May. I was talking about they're there now, but in May they weren't speaking this way. So I like that they saw things, they got more information, and they changed their mind. I like that. Daryl Corbett has to get his flowers as well. He was the person helping Shedeur when he wasn't getting any reps. Daryl said he still flies out weekly to help Shedeur work on things to improve. Latanya talked to him. It was in the well-off video. He said that. He broke down his schedule there. 3 games and Shedeur is leading rookies in passing yards. Just let that sink in. Fact, Shanithia, I thought Jackson Dart was better. Hopefully he knows we not playing with her and her lives. We all watching. Yeah, everybody is watching, Mary Kay. A preposition. If the Ravens doesn't trick the Browns on the tush push, if the defense play defense, San Francisco, if Stefanski had left Shedeur in, if there's touchdown, possible 3. That's a fact, Clyde. I agree with you there. That flaw will get him a lot of TDs and miss a few first downs, but it's a hell of a ride and fun to watch. I agree with that too, man. Spell check, it gets everybody. A reasonable black woman. What's going on? Okay, thank you. You beat me to it. So if you notice that pause, I was reading the name, I was looking at your picture, and I was like, I think this is Clarity Speaks, but let me look at it. But you beat me to the punch. It's formerly Clarity Speaks, Wilmington, North Carolina. I'm Breer branding. Shout out to you. A rebrand is necessary every once in a while to keep yourself fresh. So I like that. I like that. Look at the body language of the team. They look like they're having fun. Anybody seen Dylan? They showed Dylan one time on the sidelines being cold. They showed him on the sidelines being cold. That girl Breer, what's going on? Did you see the injured list? Everybody is hurt. Yes, I did. Ms. Brown, that's part of the NFL at this time. Most teams have a lot of guys hurt. They're also getting rest for vets. So the key injury report is after today's practice. That's the one that's important. Who practiced on Friday is the most important. All right, let's keep this thing rocking. Let's go forward. She famous for not being a credible source. Key Mathis, facts. Line leader, y'all know I don't like the line leader stuff. This is some of that line leader stuff.
I know what I think, and I know that I've told you what I think, but sometimes I think people just want their reality to become the truth, and sometimes it's just not. Thoughts on that? Especially with this story.
Meaning what, though, with all that? Meaning that Shedeur's on his way to the Hall of Fame already?
Yes,
basically?
Things like that. Yeah. Like, no one wants to let him, to me, watch this story, no one wants to let him be a rookie. That's the first part. Like, he's not allowed to have the rookie
allow
cushion.
The team to treat him as a rookie.
Well, that's true, too.
In other words, coach him up, be patient, put him in situations where he can succeed.
There are different.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Y'all know I can't get with these line leader narratives. Y'all know I don't like the line leader stuff. Y'all know I'm pro Shedeur. Have y'all heard me one time say Shedeur is going to the Hall of Fame? Have y'all heard me say that? Y'all watch a lot of people's videos who support Shedeur. Have y'all ever once heard anybody claim Shedeur was going to the Hall of Fame? What they don't like is they were wrong. This whole thing, they were wrong. This whole thing, they were wrong. That's all it is. The easiest thing for them to do is recognize I was wrong in my assessment and to move forward. Say I was wrong and keep it moving. Instead, they want to play line leader. They want to gaslight people and act like somebody said he was in the Hall of Fame over 3 games. Nobody said that. We were fighting for reps. 3 weeks ago. So how do we go from reps to the Hall of Fame? These people are not honest. They're not having honest conversations. This is an example of people that I can't show. I can't show these people anymore. I can't react to these people anymore. If you were having an honest conversation, we could talk. But for you to do all of this stuff, I can't go for that. I can't go for that. I can't go for that. No can do. I can't go for it. This is the last time we're gonna show them, y'all. This is the last time. What I do is once I see what side people stand on, I'm gonna put you in a box and I'm gonna leave you there. And I'm not gonna go back and look for you. And these two, they're in that box. Y'all won't see them anymore from me. If y'all want to go and other people react to them, they're finished. Finito. It's a wrap. So I want them to listen to Ja Morant.
Everybody stay on that side when they switched up. You switched up, stay on that side, man.
I don't want to hear those people. I'm not going to show those people no more. Those people are done. They're done. All right, let's go. It's that time of the year. Yes, like 11 people speaking on an injury report. That's a fact. Evidence per Google. Deion Sanders absolutely threw buckets of ice water on Tim McCarver during the Atlanta Braves 1992 NL Championship. Deion was fined $1 million in 2007. Njoku, I think he was still on the injury list as well, that girl Breer. They're trying to compare Shedeur and Baker Mayfield, who had the higher ceiling. Man, it's crazy. Comparison is a thief of joy. I'm not comparing Baker Mayfield to Shedeur. If you want to say they both are confident and they walk in the room confident, cool. We can have that conversation on the field. We don't have to compare Shedeur to anybody else. We just have to look at is Shedeur playing like an NFL quarterback. That's how we got to look at him. So when I compare people and I do stats on Wednesdays, it's going to be stats compared to other quarterbacks currently playing in the NFL. I'm not going to compare Shedeur Sanders football to Baker Mayfield, who was the number 1 overall pick and was treated totally different coming into their circumstances. I'm not doing that. When you can't understand what's happening on the field, you resort to trying to compare things to try to see if it fits or if they're closely aligned, instead of just critiquing Shedeur based on what he does on the field. So they can do that all they want. I'm not going to do that. Charmaine, you know it. Nobody's saying Shedeur is going to be in the Hall of Fame. All we were screaming is give him a fair chance. Wet 11s talk to him. That's it. Saw Dillon last game under a trench coat. Didn't look happy. How many games do you have to play to potentially be offensive rookie of the year? I don't know if they have those hard, fast rules in the NFL, but I would assume they probably will want you to play at least half the year. I know the NBA has them. I don't know if they have. That Mary Kay lady, one of the worst reporters, is covering the Cleveland Browns. She's an airhead. I'm sorry to say that. She's been doing it for 40 years too. That's crazy. Never got a better understanding of the game. Never got a better. Oh, all right, we're a little behind. Let's catch up. I was thinking you should speak on these two clowns. They were talking about everybody should just forget everything that happened because Shedeur's quarterback now. Yes. We had too many situations where people just want you to forget when people did you wrong, and they want you to be the bigger person when they was basically out here saying you couldn't read and you couldn't write. No, I'm not going to be the bigger person. I'm going to give you the same energy you gave me. You told people I couldn't recite a play call. You told people I couldn't understand the language of calling the plays. That's what you told people about me. So no, I'm not going to be the bigger person. I'm not. I'm not going to do it. You're not going to gaslight me. You're not going to be the line leader trying to get everybody in a single file line on the side before we walk together to the bathroom. And no, it's not going to work. Stay on that side. Stay on the side you chose. Instead of looking at the film, instead of seeing if this was a quarterback that had anything to him, instead of looking at him in college, you chose that side and you listened to people who didn't know what they were talking about. So stay over there.
Everybody stay on that side when they switched up. You switched up, stay on that side, man.
Stay over there. They moving fake goalposts. Facts. They should be in great shape the way they're moving the goalposts. The usual suspects forming narratives. They can't attack Shedeur because people see he is a professional, responsible young man. Now they're trying to malign his supporters. Yep, that's the losing battle. Do y'all remember I said Shedeur is like Cash Money? Better yet, the Navy got an army. Remember I said that to y'all? Now they're seeing it. Now they're seeing it. Kevin did say Wednesday that the only ones he had not playing was Conklin, Tillman, and Ford. Everyone else was questionable. Yeah, questionable. They still got an opportunity to play. Overtime season has a video titled "The Most Famous Person in High School." When I say Shedeur's him, he's been getting hate since high school. Talk about greatness. That's a fact. That's why when people were mad at the legendary tag, I was like, do you know what legendary means? Just look up the definition of legendary and come back to me and let me know if Shedeur's legendary or not. Please get these geriatrics off the screen. Yeah, that's it. They done. Finished. Finito. Cat Williams. Shalia, what's going on? I ain't see you sneak in. What's going on, Shalia? Cat Williams said, liars lied. That's what they do. I no longer give 92.3 to Fan my clicks. There you go. It's only two. If you want to watch Jonathan the afternoon drive, you can watch them. The rest of them not having honest conversations. And Jonathan could be taking a crazy victory lap over these people, and he is keeping it calm and staying level, because I know a lot of people will be way more demonstrative in how they will be taking a victory lap right now. Way more. 2007, Michelle McCarver married Kevin Stefanski. Michelle was Tim's daughter. I graduated from college with a 3.7 GPA. Hey, Clyde said, what I'm saying is facts. When did Tillman get concussed? He got concussed in the last game, Shanithia. In the last game. It was a late hit toward the end of the game. What quarter was it in? I can't remember the quarter. It was a late hit. Shedeur threw it low. He was trying to slide low to get it. Safety hit him. It was a late hit in the second half of the game, I'm pretty sure. Mary Kay is literally trying to disrespect 12 father by saying he wasn't ready and trying to take away credit from Dion off teaching his son the game she is discussing. Yeah, she's bad. I felt like early on they were going to play Shedeur, but not enough to get any accolades. Hate being right. Tool man, that's it. It's sometimes where you see something playing out and you don't want to be right, but you end up being right. The narrative of guys being better than Shedeur died very quickly when Shedeur got a chance to play. That's why they pushed the narrative so hard that he wasn't ready to play. Maurice, talk to him. Also, Maurice, what's going on? How you feeling? Good to see you. I just saw Tim in here. Here we go. I hear people saying draft a left tackle. Drafting a tackle is short-sighted. They need more than one. People do get hurt. I agree. I want to see them draft. In this draft, they should draft 3 to 4 linemen. It's boring. It's not sexy picks, but you got to rebuild this line. They need to get over the nonsense. Ms. Brown, I agree. Do you see all? Okay. Did you see all what Shedeur did to Jeffrey Simmons after his last TD? He ran over to Simmons and threw his wrist up in his face. The defense teased him first. He was returning the favor. Too funny. Facts. Hey, if you go do it to me, don't get mad when I do it back. Don't get mad. Right, they clearly need new blood in Cleveland media. These people are outdated, out of touch. Detroit Gemini and Wet 11s, that's a big fact. They've been covering the Browns for 40 years, and they're not even up with the times. Conversations will be had if Cleveland can get a W this weekend and Shedeur outplays Caleb. That's a fact. They don't want to get to the football, but eventually they got to get there. Shedeur seemed like he was devastated on what's going on with him. They wanted Dylan to get enough time to be eligible for those accolades, but he stank up the place too badly. Yeah, it was nasty over there. Nasty work. Nasty work. Shedeur do got that Warren Moon swag in his game, though. Real talk. I agree with you, Selmo, for it. The swag, they don't like it. The confidence, they don't like it. You got to say 3 games without no real practice with the starters. No real offseason. You got to put in what they. You got to put that in when you say that these people to understand. Yeah, everybody knows that Shedeur was not treated the same way other people were treated. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. Where we at? I hope God is talking to Stefanski, but he is supposed to be a Catholic. I'm calling Jackie Judy for a TD. Wet 11s saying Judy gonna come through again. Why is it that coaches and players on opposing teams always acknowledge Shedeur's talent except his own coaches? That's a fact. That's why I was highlighting. We're also very close to Coach Prime or those close to him speaking about what's been going on this year. They're about to let it all out, y'all. They're not holding things behind the curtain anymore. I wish I was a fly on the wall when Prime talks about Kevin Stefanski and the owner. That's a fact. It's so funny. They're trying to tell us fans how to feel and what to say. We don't work for them. That's a fact. They let Dylan throw 50 times and barely broke 200 yards with less than 5-yard average. 12 with 30, had 350 plus, respectable average. Don't want him to throw 50, but if he did, we get mad and score. That's a fact. Sidebar, my baby has graduated today with 4.0 from Georgia Tech. Oh my goodness. Shout out to Lily Moss. Shout out to Lily Moss, everybody. Shout out to Lily Moss, 4.0, graduating for Georgia Tech. Shout out to her. Shout out to her. Jerry Judas with that flip in the end zone. He's so thirsty for attention. I mean, he is not the best at ball security. Yeah, you got to be more careful. You got to be more careful. I would go top wide receiver, center, tackle, and guard, maybe 5. Make a bench trade for 3 more third-round picks. Yeah, they gotta reset this line. It's good to show these people being wrong, and then your commentary over why they're wrong. I think that's great content. Brandon, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, man. The Cleveland media is not honest. That's the real issue. Narrative over facts. Talk to him, Maurice. Talk to him. This is something that Shanithia sent me this morning that I wanted to get in the show. I thought it was good. I listened to it right away. So when I was showing up a little bit late, I was rearranging some things late in the show. But this is what Shanithia sent me. Wanted to get to it. Let's go.
Too about Shedeur that I think is annoying me is when people get so upset about his interceptions and like, oh, he threw such a bad pick. The guy's a rookie. Number one, he's going to have to learn. This is his 3rd game starting. He'll get there. And if you watch these other games, are you watching the other games in the NFL? Jalen Hurts threw, I don't even know how many interceptions and fumbles too. And that game was wild. And then it's Brock Purdy. We know had the game before us. That was, I think, 3. So like these people these quarterbacks that have been in the league are still throwing bad interceptions. Why does he get such a short leash when it comes to the interception? Like it's like everything that he does. And same with the sacks. Like if you look at the sacks of the other quarterbacks, they're all taking sacks, like strip sacks, even some of the other quarterbacks. At least he holds on to the ball. So it's just the hate that he gets is so annoying. But I know it's also partly probably because he's a 5th-round pick and he's working out the way that he is. I'm sure people are a little upset. And of course, it's the Browns. So nobody wants us to do good. The only other thing, too, about.
She summed this up really well. They just hate Shedeur. And they hate him. And he's not doing anything different. When he takes a sack, other quarterbacks take sacks. That's why on Wednesday, I showed y'all who took the most sacks this week as a quarterback. I showed y'all time to throw. I showed y'all these things that they tried to use against Shedeur Now you see they're not having an honest conversation, not just locally, but also nationally. So if Justin Herbert took 7 sacks, shouldn't they be talking about his sacks the same way they talk about Shedeur's 2 sacks? They're not being honest, y'all. They are not being honest. It's not honest at all. Is any media honest? Like politics, whatever the media is saying, they are usually wrong, lying, or both. You are 90% right if you just make all your decisions just against the media. That's a fact. They are bad. They are really bad. No track record of success. That's why the people who just blindly follow people in the media, I just kind of look at them like, all right, you're going to tie everything you're saying to this person who is wrong majority of the time? I can't do it. What we got up next on the docket? All right. 92.3 The Fan. This is where I think out of that entire radio station, this is the only place you can get an honest conversation. And Jonathan, he's been calling this out since before it happened, so I appreciate him. Ivy League Mac, what's going on? If you take 7 sacks as a veteran, that is a real problem. Talk to him, Shanithia. Talk to him. Nobody wanted to talk about it. That's why I said you got to, if you're going to compare, just compare Shedeur Sanders to his contemporaries who are playing week to week. Don't compare him to, don't do the hypotheticals and all that stuff. If 12 took 7 sacks, they wouldn't stop talking about it. They would talk about it for the next 2 months. The next 2 months, they would talk about it. Browns QB coach on the growth of Shedeur Sanders. Every language is different. He's had a lot to adapt to, like Dylan Gabriel has also. I need to hear this interview. Zedric, let me check. Did it already happen? Let me see. I can come back to Jonathan. I can always come back to Jonathan. Let me clean some of this stuff up on my end. I can come back to Jonathan. We can always double back to Jonathan. Let me search for it over here. Oh, 15 minutes ago. Let's get it. All right, we gonna pivot. We're gonna pivot, y'all.
Scampering around out there.
All right, we're gonna pivot. 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 We got something fresh. Hot off the press. Hot off the press. This is Bill Musgrave. The Shedeur Sanders haters hate that they can't hate in peace because we're watching. That's a fact. Don't call me out for hating on them. What's the name of the 92.3 show with Jonathan? I believe it's the Afternoon Drive. Let me double check it for you. I believe it is. Yes, the Afternoon Drive. Afternoon Drive on the Fan. All right, let's see where we leave off. They always have to single out Shedeur because his name moves clicks like no other. That's a fact. I love Peterlin. We need to send him love. That's a fact. I rock with him. I rock with him. And probably not for the reasons that most people would say. I rock with him because he is clear about how he feels and he says it. He is clear about how he feels and he says it, and they can't move him off how he views with just some weak stuff. So I respect people who put out there how they feel. I respect that. No one said nothing about the Leprechaun getting gobbled up 7 times in the backfield and nearly led league in his too long as a starting QB. That's a fact. They don't mention it. If Stefanski developed Shedeur, then why couldn't Stefanski develop DG, who took all the first team reps? Ivy League Mac. Great point. Great point. First time they ever said Dylan had a learning curve. That's a fact. All right, let's see. Let's keep going. Where we at? D, I think Sharon should join forces with Coach Prime. He got to want the knowledge for those players. He got a lot going on right now. He got to let some stuff settle down first. He has a lot going on. Selmo Fudd, maybe towards the middle or summer, he probably can, but he got to let some stuff settle down first. All right, let's get to Bill Musgrave. Let me turn him up. I got to turn up the volume. The Browns broadcasts are usually not loud, so I want to make sure it's loud enough for y'all. Let's get to Bill Musgrave, and then we'll keep going with the show afterwards.
All right, Friday preparation today, and get out there and get ready to go see the monsters of the Midway.
Shedeur's game against the Titans and what he showed you guys in terms of his growth and development last week?
Well, there were some steps that we took forward in the quarterback department, and that was terrific. Going back to the second half of the Baltimore game, and then in Las Vegas, then versus the Niners, and then, of course, versus Tennessee, we're getting some good experience, and that's really the best teacher experiences. And he's doing a nice job of applying the lessons learned, both when we have our triumphs and our good plays, but also when we stub our toe.
One of the things he was doing, especially in the Rams preseason, drifting back. I mean, it seemed like he had a habit of drifting back when he was in the pocket. It seems like he's done a lot better job as he's gotten more comfortable in staying within the pocket, playing within the pocket more and more. Is that just a byproduct of being out there and getting game reps, something you can't really have, you can't break it with, just in practice?
I think it's definitely with the experience and the reps and finding out how fast these guys are at this level. John Elway used to say the same thing when he came out of college. He felt like he could run away from people because he did in high school and college. But these defenders at this level, they hawk you down or they trap you. They're smart. They don't let you out like you used to be able to get out of the pocket at different levels of football. So I think it's a trial and error thing. I think most quarterbacks, if not all quarterbacks, go through that, finding out how quickly these suckers break on the ball, how strong they are when they do get you, and you feel like you have the ball secured, but somehow they pry it loose and wishbone you. So it's that's probably common for each and every fella who's played this position at this level.
Oh my God! Wow!
I got money.
Shout out to Charmaine. You are an awesome supporter. You supported me since you've been here. So I greatly appreciate you. Charmaine got something to say, y'all. Thanks, D, for being an honest YouTuber. Charmaine, I try my best. I try my best to show up every day and tell y'all how I feel and go based on my beliefs and not try to parrot somebody else's ideas and what they think. Because I don't want to be the one who always has to come back and apologize or say I misspoke here or change my mind too many times because I didn't make the decision early on and I wasn't informed before I said something. So those are things that I consciously think about. So I'm really mindful of that. So I appreciate you for the compliment. I definitely appreciate you and appreciate all of your support. Shout out to Charmaine, everybody. Shout out to Charmaine. Shout out to Charmaine, y'all. He can't even point out anything that they taught him because they have not developed him on anything. I agree. The only thing he could say, two things about this. I'm with Wet 11s. They got to stop talking about the Rams game. You have more meaningful football. What they don't realize is the Rams games will not show up on his career stats. It'll always show up as preseason. That's when you try things. He was just getting his feet under him. Talk about what's happening in the game. Talk about what's happening now. This is where the lack of understanding comes from. This is the lack of understanding, y'all. So when I say that Cleveland media has a lack of understanding, could you have got to the answer to that question without asking Musgrave that question? It seems like when he didn't have reps and he didn't fully understand the speed of the game, he was trying to run backwards and use his athleticism and drift in the pocket. Now that he understands the speed of the game, he has more reps, more timing on task, he's not doing it anymore. Everybody wanted to believe it was a death sentence when it was a learning curve. That's all it was. Nobody over here is saying Shedeur's perfect. We're saying we believe in his ability to grow and learn from his mistakes. That's all it is. This is an example of the Cleveland media, y'all. This is who they are. This is who they are. This is who they are. Spiritual War Exposed. What's going on? With the switch siders, they were hoping Shedeur played bad so Kevin could bury Shedeur in the depth chart. They are all hoping he plays bad the next 4 games. I totally agree. They love to harp on that Rams preseason game. Move on, sir. That's a fact. Move on. I'm glad Musgrave used Elway as another example, not a direct comparison, but a point of reference. There you go. I like that too, Maya. You know how Tony gets. Yeah, Tony tripping. We need some new people there. That Shedeur hate was not bad takes. It was wishful thinking. They thought Kevin was going to be able to accomplish the mission, but he failed. Now they have to eat crow and mad at the fans. That's a fact, spiritual war. They didn't want Shedeur to play. They wanted to bury Shedeur. The problem is in Cleveland, 4 quarterbacks going to play every year. On average, 4 going to play. So you're going to have 4 quarterbacks out there. The likelihood of them being able to not play Shedeur was very low, especially once you got rid of the other 2. So 4 quarterbacks going to be out there. He should have knew better. We just need more black coaches that actually play the game. These coaches are not smart. Yeah, you got to have people who understand the game more. You need people who understand the game more. Shedeur is 100% oxygen, and the atmosphere is amazing to witness. That's a fact, Michael. That's a fact. That's why they can't stop talking about him. Cleveland Browns wanted to change and start winning games. They could have literally drafted Travis and also got 12 to turn the team around when it comes to winning. They could have. Shedeur's name in that first comes out the media mouth. 12 legendary. That's a fact. That's why I said even they didn't like the fact that he's legendary. They got to call him legendary if you know what it means. Just look up the definition of legendary and then try to tell me he's not. At least he's not spewing that Stefanski stuff. He just stated facts, giving Shedeur credit for improving with playing time. Facts. Most of the players in the Rams game were waived. He played with the worst of the worst in the Rams game. That's a fact. It's clear that the reporter do not know football at all. Musgrave's response was a football-based answer to an obvious issue. That's a fact. They do not watch the game, the reporters. I agree, Charmaine. They can't. Musgrave was on the same team as Deion back in the day. He's not going to talk crazy about Shedeur. He's not. Musgrave and Coach Prime have a really special relationship. Coach Prime was big on making sure Musgrave got in the game at the end of the game when they won the Super Bowl together. So they got a solid relationship. Let's go back to him.
Day one when Shedeur got here. How can you kind of quantify the development he's made in all aspects of the game since he stepped foot to now when he's your starting quarterback?
Well, like all of us, I think back to my rookie year 34 years ago, came out of a system at Oregon where we never even called the pass protection. The offense that Shedeur ran, the 2 offenses he ran in Colorado, plus the offense at Jackson State, plus the offense, in high school at Trinity. I mean, you just don't know what you're going to get faced with. My rookie coach was Norval Turner there in Dallas, and he used to get after me because I wouldn't call the play correctly in the huddle. So all of us rookies have mountains to climb in terms of how well were we prepared for this level. Whether we're in the huddle, we're in the shotgun, we're under center, we're no huddling, we're sending motions. Every language is different. So he's had a lot to adapt to, like Dylan has also, like little Bobby Musgrove did 34 years ago.
Been for Shedeur in terms of.
I like it. He is going back to his experience, what he went through. And also, do y'all remember Mary Kay said Shedeur only played in like one offense system, and she was trying to hype up Dylan for playing in all those different offensive systems? And you just heard Bill Musgrave talk about the different offensive systems and going back all the way to Trinity when Shedeur was in high school, all the things he's done. The more you know, that you can have a better answer. And these are football. He's relying on his football experience to answer these questions. And it just shows the reporters' lack of experience and understanding. That's it. They bring up the Rams game more than they bring up the Panthers preseason game. The man was playing with people that didn't make the cut. Like, what was so hard to comprehend about that game? It was very simple, Key Mathis. When I said that in the moment, people told me that I was caping for Shedeur. In the moment, they said that. And I was like, okay, I ain't going to argue back and forth with you. I ain't going to do it.
Oh my God! Wow!
I got money.
Shout out to C.A. Anderson. Seattle's in the building. Always supporting, always tapping in, always listening while you're getting ready and on your way to work. I appreciate you. She has something to say. Here's my theory. Maybe they are picking Legendary's brain because they are not smart enough to develop QBs. They need Legendary's knowledge. Talk to him. Talk to him. Also, Shedeur said something very key. He said he needs to know the why, so he has a full understanding of it. And I think they took him wanting to know the why as him not understanding. That's what I think. A person that wants to know the why, that's how they can fully buy in and trust it, because they know the why. Why are we doing this? So if they're in cover 2, why am I making this decision? A person who can't fully explain that will get frustrated. They'll get frustrated because you want to know the why, and they want you to just accept what I'm telling you. So I think they thought that was the reason why he wasn't understanding. But no, he is really testing your understanding. He's testing your knowledge. So he can fully believe and be bought in. Because if you can't fully explain to me why we're doing this when they do this, then I'm going to go based on what I already know and what I bring to the table. And I'm going to answer it based on how I see fit. So if you ever trained anybody, if you ever been in that situation, explaining to them the why is very, very, very important. Very important. You have to explain the why. If you cannot explain the why, people will question if you know what you're talking about. They'll question it. And I think they misinterpreted Shedeur saying, tell me why. That's what I think. And they knew his knowledge, and his dad is one phone call away, and he can ask his dad, hey, when they are running cover 3 and they switch, so they're doing the Nick Saban cover 3, go to a cover 7 where it's a zone match, depending on what we do, how do I answer that? He's asking his dad that question. His dad is giving him the answer. His dad gives him the answer. Then he goes to the coaches and say, hey, I really like this. Why wouldn't we do this when they do this? Because as soon as it goes from zone to a man match, which would make it cover 7, why wouldn't we attack them this way? And they sitting there like, he just don't get it. They sitting there like he don't get it. Well, really, he over understands. He overly understands what you're doing and the why. So that's what I think. Just my quick interpretation of it. That's just what I think. That's what I think.
Oh my God! Wow! I got money.
Mark 948. It's the I'm white and I say so narrative. He didn't get coaching. He did run a pro style offense, but his head coach was head coach of the Browns, Pat Shurmur. That's a fact. This stuff is simple once you really just look to get understanding. It's off when you don't look for understanding. When you look for understanding, it's simple. So to me, I get it. I get it. I totally get it. Mark said, I got something else to say.
Oh my God! Wow! I got money.
I appreciate your support. Thank you for tapping in. Thank you for supporting the show. Can't read defenses. He only has success because of Travis. He didn't travel with the team. He rubs people the wrong way because his daddy rich. All of the BS narratives that they were spewing. All of them. All of the BS narratives that they were spewing. All of it was trash. All of it was trash. All of it. I totally agree. Van, what's going on? Welcome in. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. All right, let me catch up where I left off at. Where has this Musgrave interview been? Kevin Stefanski could have said the same thing, and he would not be required to walk the streets of shame. Talk to him. That's a fact, Shanithia. Just tell her what it is. Tell her what it is. Tell her like it is. So they knew how good Shedeur has been and how good he is now. Straight sabotage and putting Dylan before Shedeur. Yeah, they're going to run Dylan Gabriel out the league with what they did to him. Shanithia, he cannot communicate that effectively. Reese and Musgrave are the mouthpieces. They communicate a whole lot better than he does. A whole lot better. Marie, you know, 4 games and he out.
You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job.
He is out. Why Dylan Gabriel with all the practice and all the first run? Why does Dylan Gabriel? Why is he still hot garbage? They don't want to have a conversation. Nope, they don't want to. I'm like that too. I need to know the why I'm doing what I'm doing. That intimidates my boss. They don't like it. Wet 11s, you know it. I've trained people. I've trained so many people in different fields I've worked in. The why is super important. The why is super important. You got to tell people why you're doing stuff. You got to tell them why. And the why is usually the thing that sticks with them. That's usually what sticks with somebody and helps them remember it. It's usually the why. So the why is important. Why is vital. If somebody asks me a question, they ask me why, I give them the why. You can't give them the why if you don't know the why. You can't do it. He is very subtle when debunking some of the narratives of Cleveland's media. Very smart, non-threatened, chess, not checkers. Yes, Musgrave, and he is also, every opportunity he gets, he's bringing football knowledge and experience into it. That can't be questioned. That's the problem, D. If they stop thinking, if they stop thoughting and start thinking, it will make sense. It ain't gonna make sense because they don't get it. They don't get it. Shedeur is smarter and more advanced than the entire Browns coaching staff, no doubt. That's a fact. He got a better understanding, and he has a resource that he can tap into to get a better understanding of what they're doing. And they're intimidated by that. Look at what Shedeur does exceptionally well. He looks safeties and linebackers away and gets the ball to where his guy can make the play. Tool man, that is a fact. When people want to try to discredit Shedeur for throwing screens, the reason why Shedeur screenplays work is because he's looking off the defense. He's fooling the defense. He's holding the defensive line longer so the play can set up and develop. That's a skill. We watched Dylan Gabriel not be able to set up screenplays and have success. We also watched Dylan Gabriel not be able to throw it to open guys when they were right there for the screen to be open. So people just want to take digs at Shedeur every chance they get. They don't understand half the stuff he's doing. Yeah, Kevin Stefanski is over with. To talk about him staying next season is counterintelligent propaganda. I agree with that. I cannot wait for the 30 for 30. It's going to be crazy. All of a sudden, Mary Kay Cabin wants to give credit to Kevin Stefanski for why Shedeur is looking so elite. How he talks with Kevin in the morning. That's not making a big difference. That's him telling Kevin, explain this to me. That's what that is. That's not Kevin doing something extra because he didn't understand. That's Kevin needing to sleep on the question Shedeur asked him the day before. They're asking him a question, and Shedeur is like, hey, but if we do this and the defense does this, there's nothing for us to do. Kevin like, come see me in the morning. We're going to get back on it. He got to go call around and ask people, hey, how do I solve this when they do this? That's what that is.
Oh my God! Wow!
I got money.
Shout out to Shanithia.
Broncos country, let's ride. Broncos country, let's ride.
Shedeur in Kevin's office every day, showing him modifications needed to his play calling and what he can't, and his need to hold the integrity of the game, run plays. Kevin, you got 2 weeks. Decommission all failed plans. Hey, get rid of them. Scrap them. Scrap them. Throw them away. Throw them away. But we all know it's nothing Kevin could do. This was going to happen to Kevin.
You about to lose your job.
We know it.
You about to lose your job.
We know it. That's the intimidation factor. They wanted to act as though Coach Prime was going to come take somebody's job in NFL. Really what they were intimidated by, I cannot BS Shedeur Sanders when it comes to talking about football. That is the problem. That is the problem. How many times have, in whatever profession you work in, has whatever profession you work in, somebody who came in who was working above you, so they were either a supervisor, they were a lead, or they were something of a higher level than you, and you heard them try to explain something, and you knew what they were saying was mumbo jumbo, sounded like this.
Have you ever had a dream that that you had you could do so you want to.
How many times have y'all been in that situation? And that person looked you right in your eye and they knew that you knew they was on some BS. And every time they spoke around you, they was nervous. They had to think about every word they said. They didn't want to put too much out there. That's Kevin Stefanski when he's talking to Shedeur, y'all. That is him. That is him. Every time he going to talk, he like, dang, he gonna hit me with another question. Yes, he is. Y'all know it. It happens to all of us. So the part that the sports media is leaving out, they're leaving out the human element. The human element is real. Y'all know y'all done been in a situation y'all was looking at somebody like, and you think I'm supposed to believe that? Everybody done been through it. It's just Shedeur going through it now. That's all that is. That's all it is. That's all it is. Shout out to Shanithia for all your support. I really appreciate it. Coaches need to get 12 in a position he can make the layups and not home runs. 3rd and 18 is not the same as 2nd and 2. 2, man, that's a fact. That's a fact. Kevin is playing both sides. Shedeur does well if his angle is to stay. That's why Mary Kay is pushing that. Everyone else is saying Kevin is out, and his agent is saying he's available. Yeah, he out of here. He's out of here. He's out of here. But listen, Kevin Stefanski knows if 12 has the type of wisdom, then Coach Prime has to be a threat. If Shedeur had this wealth of knowledge, then Coach Prime is a bank of knowledge. That's it. I was breaking something down on my Patreon, and at the end of it, I was saying why I would never try to give advice to a Shedeur, because Shedeur has somebody with more understanding and a better knowledge of the situation that he can go to get that advice. So why would I try to offer my little advice on some football when he can go to one of the greatest of all times with a better understanding of how to attack it, because his father was on the other side of the ball? How many players where their father was a quarterback, the son played quarterback, but they could not get them to fully understand the defensive side of the ball? It's a very unique situation having one of the best DBs ever to play the game, not even the athlete part, the best DBs to ever play the game, and his wealth of knowledge to tell you what the defense is trying to do. This is all about answers, y'all. Football is all about answers. So you go out there, you study a team, you look at what they like to do down the distance, and you have to counter what they like to do. Then you have to make adjustments at halftime based on what they did that worked or didn't work. And then you have to prepare for the unknown. So you need the answers. The way you get the answers as an offense, you have to know the keys and what the defense will do. The way you get the answers as a defense, you have to know the keys and what an offense will do. Tom Brady explained this. Tom Brady said the way he was able to understand defenses came from Belichick coming into the offensive meeting room and teaching all the quarterbacks the weaknesses of defenses depending on the down and distance situation. That's how you get better at it. To get the answers, you have to have a full understanding. I keep giving y'all hints about I'm so excited for CU's new OC, Brendan Marion. The reason why I'm so excited for him is, one, he just seems like a really good guy, really genuine. I like that about him. He cares about the kids that he's teaching and what he's teaching them. And also, when he was building his offense, he took it to defensive coordinators and said, if I do this, what would your answer be? Okay, now if I motion this guy here and I overload this side, what would your answer be? So he was getting the answers from defenses so his offense could be better. That's what you do to get better. So I know it was long, but just had to break it down for y'all so y'all see this is where the communication breakdown is happening. This is why they're viewing Shedeur the way they do. How can you be a leader of men and you can't communicate? You can't. You can't. And what the Cleveland Browns did at 12, they tried to break him down behind the scenes as if his coach, as if he wasn't Coach Prime. He would have been done for it. Yeah, if he wasn't as confident, if his dad wouldn't instill that confidence in him, they would have broke him, but they weren't able to. Someone said Kevin Stefanski should be the new head coach for the Giants. I said that's not going to work because Dart isn't a game manager either. When are they going to realize Kevin Stefanski is way archaic? That's it. Kevin Stefanski and Pat Shurmur, they fell into the same problem. It's outdated. I don't know how much Pat Shurmur can adjust. I think once he's seeing real defenses and stuff now. I don't know how much Pat Shurmur could help Shedeur now at this point. He's making Kevin Stefanski do his job. That's a fact. Dylan was thrown to the floor. He was throwing that thing in the dirt a lot. Kevin needs a new playbook. That's a fact. I was watching a video compilation of DG Dirtballs. I said, this is who they put up first. That's why the Bible says the first shall be last and the last shall be first. Talk to him, Key Mathis. Browns versus Bears. I can't believe in the Browns play calling. That's a fact. Hopefully our defense can get some turnovers. I got some stats about the Bears too. Maya, you know what it is. Shalia, you know what it is. Every week y'all looking at somebody crazy. They don't know what they're talking about. Please give more insight about why everyone is saying Shedeur Sanders is having conversations around the theory associated with Kevin Stefanski's playbook. How do we know this? Shedeur kind of is like this. Shedeur was in his last, I think it was his last press conference. He was talking about the understanding of the game. And he said, I'm a why person. I need to know the why I'm doing something so I can fully understand it. So you got to be able to explain the why to me. So if you just think about it, if you go, who would he be asking the why question to? He's not asking the why question to anybody on the defensive staff. He's asking the why question to somebody on the offensive staff. If we're supposed to check into this when this happens, why? Why are we checking into this? Who does this attack? Who does this take advantage of? So that's why people are going and saying Shedeur is questioning the playbook because they have to explain the why, because Shedeur said it out his own mouth. They got it. He has to understand the why. He has to understand it. Zedric, that was you this morning. Hey, look, I'm telling y'all, I didn't experience a lot. I know when you just sitting there like, and this person think I believe this. Shedeur is going to keep knocking on coach's door and try to absorb, learn as many, and that's why this coach and all the coaches have known good and well they may not be there next year or next week. That's a fact. Imagine you in football being 30 years and 20-year-old kid walks in with more knowledge, more advanced than you. Stefanski knows he's done. Cooked. These Cleveland radio station people are delusional. They are. Shedeur is playing in spite of them. I agree with you, Brandon. Has there been a game Shedeur played he didn't personally know one or more of the superstars on the team? His network is too wide for Kevin Stefanski. Kevin Stefanski does not work well with star players. He has a history of that with the Browns. He's not done well with star players. That's just, everybody knows that. Who was the commentator after draft said if you're afraid of his dad, you didn't need to be a head coach? Shanithia, is that a trick question? Or have you been here that long? Is that a trick question? Or have you been here that long, Shanithia? I had a rant where I said, if you are afraid of Deion Sanders taking your job as a coach, it's not your job. I had a rant in the summer saying that because I got so sick of hearing people saying that, oh, Coach Prime is going to take your job. He's going to take your job. Do y'all think I get up here in front of y'all with the work I put in behind the scenes and I'm worried about the next person taking my spot? I ain't worried. I'm not worried about the next person. I can't look at the next person. I got to have tunnel vision on keep getting better. I got to keep getting better. So Shanithia is showing how long she been here. She's showing it. I think I got you coming up, C.A. Anderson. Yeah, I got you coming up. I was pretty far behind on the chats, but I got you coming up. Shanithia is showing how long she been here. She been here a long, long time. I said that in the summer. So shout out to Shanithia. I think that might have been on, I don't even know if I put that on YouTube. I think that was on my TikTok I put that on. So a long, long time. Let's go. It's like Kevin is calling plays. Someone told him to run and doesn't know how to adjust to opposing team defense. He does not make adjustments well. The team up north needs a coach. Kevin Stefanski, go there. Kevin Stefanski, go up there quick. Kevin is a loser. That's just playing losing football. That's just Jared for his payday. He's not here to win it all. I don't think he is. Legendary plays the defensive coach, not the QB. It's chess. C.A. Anderson. C.A. Anderson. This is something I love. When everybody is saying Shedeur is going up against Caleb Williams, Caleb Williams will never tackle Shedeur. Shedeur will never tackle Caleb Williams. You are going up against the team's defense. The NFL sells quarterbacks to you. So they talk about quarterback head-to-head matchup. This is not a quarterback head-to-head matchup. This is Shedeur Sanders versus the Chicago Bears defense. This is Caleb Williams versus the Cleveland Browns defense. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it, C.A. Anderson. That is a fact. I got some stats that I'm going to pull up that shows Chicago Bears defense is middle of the road. They do force a lot of turnovers, but if they don't get those turnovers, they can be had. They can be had. They can be got. Don't be confused by what they say. Watch what they do. If Gabriel doesn't get hurt, Stefanski may have gotten another 2 weeks of Gabriel's experiment before the front office forces a change. Excuse me. I agree. I agree with you. Notice his wrist notes on his wrist were larger and more options this week versus when he got in. He can handle more. They just got to be willing to give him more to handle. It's a small clip of Shedeur being demonstrative, talking to Kevin Stefanski on the sideline before he runs back on the field. I don't mind it. He did a battle. I like it. Yeah, Shanithia have been here that long, since the summer when I said that. Yep, I got yours, C.A. Anderson. I really like what you had to say. I remember a commentator said it. That was on ESPN, and Ryan Clark was on the panel. Yeah, Shalia, I said that in the summer because I'm like, where's your confidence in yourself? This season, Stefanski has shown his true colors. Everyone has seen it front and center on national television. The rest of the NFL owners are insane to hire him as a head coach. Yeah, Van, totally agree. They would be foolish to hire him as a head coach. Foolish. Kevin probably thinks that Coach Prime is putting Shedeur up to ask him so many questions. Can't be paranoid and be a good coach. You cannot. You cannot. Paranoia will cloud your judgment. You will not look at things clearly. You will not see them clearly. You won't see them clearly at all. All right, let's see. We're going to give Bill Musgrave maybe one more question to see if it's any good. I personally think those doubting what he will do Sunday because of the weather aren't paying attention. Yeah, they are not. They're not paying attention. We know they're not, Cedric.
His footwork, I know that he came into this team wanting to approach that specifically. What has been the key as you work with him to try to improve that on the field?
Well, he works hard at it. Any gains, of course, that these guys are making, it's because they are determined to get it right. They're determined to figure this whole pro game out, talking about the rookie quarterbacks. And Shedeur has worked really hard on his footwork and his rhythm and his feet, really telling him how to get through progressions. You know, the first route might be thrown on the plant before we even take a hitch step or a gather step in the pocket. And then moving to number 2 to number 3, a little bit like the 60-yard touchdown to Jerry the other day. His feet told him that initially the front side of the pattern wasn't working. It wasn't looking very appetizing. And sure enough, when he got to his second or third hitch step or gather step, he inherently got back to that backside in cut. And that was outstanding.
I love this. I love this. Do y'all remember people trying to say Shedeur's footwork was bad? Did y'all just hear him breaking down Shedeur's footwork on that 60-yard pass? Do y'all remember me always saying, yeah, 1 or 2 plays, Shedeur might not have the best footwork, but overall his footwork is not an issue? Do y'all remember that? Do y'all remember that? Don't talk to me about footwork. Don't talk to me about the footwork, y'all. Don't talk to me about it. Don't talk to me about it. I don't want to hear nothing about the footwork. I don't want to hear it. These people don't know what they're talking about. They're not watching the games. That's just it. He said it there. He said it. This is the best coach interview. That's a fact. I was actually going to play like one more minute of this, and then he gave their answer, and I'm like, man, we really going to keep playing this. We're going to play more of this because this is a really good breakdown of football that people need to hear. So we going to keep this thing rocking. I'm loving this. They just said that during the game. During that game, Mark Schlereth, he's had an issue with Shedeur since way before the draft. So yeah, Mark Schlereth, I can't get with that. Yeah, let's listen to the whole interview. Musgrave is making some good points. Marie, I'm there with you. I'm there with you. DG had a nervous breakdown. Yeah, he couldn't take it no more. He couldn't take it. They just said that during the last game. Yeah, people called out his footwork. I'm like, what are y'all watching? What are y'all watching? Look, Dylan was not hurt. He saw all those big grown black men rushing toward him, told Kevin during halftime, I can't do it, coach. He was terrified. Terrified. Shalia, you were saying play it again. Which one? Which were you talking about when you said play it again, Shalia?
In terms of his elusiveness and being able to slip the sacks and step up in the pocket and buy himself the time, is that about what you thought it would be, or in some ways is that even exceeding your expectations so far?
I think it's about what we thought or anticipated. Most fellas in this day and age are going to have to extend the play and escape just because the defenses are so good. I don't think we're not seeing any more Troy Aikmans or Dan Marinos that are just statues in the pocket and they just deal from the pocket and crush a defense. The defenses now are so advanced and so good that we're not seeing any 6'5", 6'6", just statues back there, even though Phillip Rivers is back. But the guy we're playing this week in Chicago, same skill set. He can throw, but also he can extend plays and he can get out there and create when the defenses take away what is intended.
Y'all, I'm so intrigued by this interview. So what Bill Musgrave just said right there, they were asking about Shedeur extending plays. Now, there's also something that we've been talking a lot about that the people who don't understand football have been talking about. Zedric, you read my mind. If y'all see Zedric's comment, I like this answer, pushes back on the time to throw watchers. There you go. I always said time to throw, and the way they're using it is incorrect. They're using time to throw as you don't understand what the defense is doing, not you're extending the play to make something happen. He just pushed back on it. He said guys are not just standing back there and just letting it go. You got to be able to escape. Defenses are so good. He is crushing all these narratives that people have been talking about. The understanding. Oh, what about Shedeur's understanding? It's about where we expected it to be. So Musgrave is saying we're not surprised at his ability to move around in the pocket and make things happen. They're not surprised by that. They need him to extend plays. Did y'all hear that? So the time to throw stat that everybody wants to throw out there is not an understanding stat. The time to throw stat is a are you trying to make something happen stat. Then he just said all of the quarterbacks in the league have to make something happen because defenses are so good. So the time to throw, I don't really want to, if people are talking about time to throw, we can't have a conversation. If they're still talking about lack of understanding of defenses by Shedeur, we can't have a conversation. We can have honest conversations, but we can't have conversations about stuff where people just don't understand. They just don't understand. Also, something shady that people are doing with the time to throw stats. They are not using this time to throw stats and comparing them to other quarterbacks that week. They are taking this time to throw stats off the entire time he's played to portray them as worse. Mikey McNuggets. So if you see people using those time to throw stats, don't listen to them. Don't engage. Don't have a conversation. Y'all see what it is. Y'all see what it is. Brock Purdy's last year was in the threes. It's not an issue like they want it to be. Talk to him, Zedric. This is a great interview by Musgrave, y'all. This is a great interview.
How much Shedeur saw different offenses and things, and then the adjustment to the NFL. How challenging is it to break some of those habits for a rookie quarterback? Things that maybe you guys want him to sort of get better at the NFL level? How long can that take? Is it sort of based on each person? But what was that process kind of like, I guess?
Yeah, I'm sure it's based on the individual, but it takes hard work. It just doesn't happen. And it takes hard work, like we all know, to reestablish habits and to make them part of your fabric so you don't have to think about it. The last thing we want somebody doing is out there thinking on the field about my footwork or the way I throw. It's not golf. There's no time for swing thoughts up on the tee box. Like, we've got to do what comes naturally to us, and that's establishing those habits, as you alluded to.
You've been working.
This is such a great answer too. All of these answers are good. It's going to come with time. It's going to come with reps. Remember the people, reps don't matter. It's going to come with reps. Remember, I told y'all it's a book I really like, Atomic Habits. 1% better daily. You just keep getting better incrementally daily, and then eventually you'll see it, and it'll just show a lot. That's what Musgrave is saying right there. It'll just come with time and reps, and you naturally want to do it. You don't want to think. Also, there was a time where I was explaining to y'all that what offenses try to get the Browns to do, defense to do, is to think. They want you to think. Thinking slows you down. People were saying that Shedeur was not processing it. I kept telling y'all, this is not about processing. I kept telling y'all, this is not processing. This is him understanding what the defense is doing and needing more reps to get up to speed. Now they're asking the question, well, when will it happen? It's going to slowly happen over time where you're going to consistently see it get better with more reps. So the people who wanted to talk about reps and reps don't matter, we can't have conversations with those people. We can't have conversations with them. That's a fact. Zedric, it's not golf. It's not golf. Sia Anderson got something else to say.
Oh my God! Wow!
I got money.
Sia Anderson got something to say. Thank you for all your support. Musgrave is putting the baby to bed. Let me tell you, he is knocking down every single fake story that they put out there. He is knocking them down with a football understanding. A football understanding, y'all. Y'all know the basis. Y'all remember when Shanithia said it to me? She said, I appreciate you because you start with the football first. That's where you got to start. That's where your understanding comes from. He is knocking it out the park with explaining this to a room full of reporters who don't understand football. And he is breaking it down. So as y'all get this understanding and y'all better understand what people are doing, we can't keep talking to the people who don't get it. We can't give them a bunch of airtime. They don't get it. They're not trying to get it. They're intentionally not trying to understand. And Musgrave ain't going for it, and I'm here for it. I appreciate him. Thank you, C.A. Anderson. I appreciate you for also seeing that. Thank you for all your support. Seattle is always in the building. Let's see what else Musgrave got to say.
Pretty closely with Tommy here for a little while. What have you kind of learned about Tommy Rees as a coordinator, play caller, just all of those things?
I've learned, a lot. I've learned Mike Mularkey, a guy that I worked with down in Atlanta, he used to talk about being a lifelong learner. And us as coaches, we should learn something, and we do, every time we walk off a practice field or a game field. Every day at this job, we'd come in and Mike Mularkey had a file, and he'd type it in or write it in about things that he learned each and every day that we didn't know the minute we went out to practice. And I learned from Tommy each and every day. He works really hard at his craft. The other day, he was a step ahead of the defense there in Tennessee with the plays he called. He was a step ahead on that long pass down there in Las Vegas when we flushed out of the pocket versus cover zero. He's been a step ahead of these opposing coordinators. I like being around him. I like guys who are tightly wound, and Tommy is, because he cares, guys who actually care about football and care about their profession.
Loretta, what's going on? Welcome in. Van says, Musgrave must know Stefanski is on his way out, so he's laying it all out front and center. He putting it all out there. I'll tell you all this. This is how I feel about Tommy Rees. In my film breakdown this week, I noticed that Tommy Rees was attacking certain defenders on the field. He was just going at him. Every time he saw that mismatch, he was attacking it. I want to see more of that. I'm not the person who says Tommy Rees has to be here. I have not seen enough overall from Tommy Rees to say he should come back or he should be here. I am encouraged by where things are going in the pass game, but to me, it seems like Tommy Rees struggles to be able to set up the run game. But when it comes to the pass game and picking the weakest defender and attacking him, I like that about the Tommy Rees, and I noticed he did that this week. He kept attacking number 33. Whatever they saw on film about number 33 for the Titans, he kept attacking him. Number 33 got 2 penalties towards the end of the game. He was really attacking him. I wonder if that's a Shedeur thing. Some of the play calls were designed to show man coverage, and then they were attacking number 33. Or they could. It's probably both of them. It's probably the correct answer, Zedric. But they definitely, especially in that fourth quarter, every single time they saw number 33 line up on Dylan Sampson, they attacked him with Dylan Sampson. When they saw early in the game, they saw number 33 lined up on Harold Fannin, they attacked him. So it was something that they saw. They were attacking number 33. If you go watch that game, you're like, man, they are really going at him. And I like that because to be an aggressive offense, you have to pick a weakness and attack that weakness and keep going back to it. So they really attacked him a lot, so I appreciate that. Sever all ties with Kevin Stefanski. I agree. Y'all know how I feel about Kevin.
You about to lose your job.
Y'all know that.
You about to lose your job.
Y'all know that.
Shedeur's now slated to finish out the season as the starter, which Kevin announced this week. What do you think, like in a 7-game sample size, if he gets through the season healthy and all that, what do you think you can tell or learn or gather about him sort of moving forward into the future about him as the quarterback for this team?
Yeah, I don't know that I'm in a good spot to answer that today. That's probably going to be for the off season where we can take a deep breath and reflect a little bit. Right now, we're pretty much in our, as you can imagine, our weekly battle mode of getting ready for a Friday practice in red area and making sure we're sharp on the goal line and 2-point plays and all that so we can go put our best foot forward versus Chicago. Then after that 7-game stretch, as you described, there'll be time in the off season to reflect and really break it down and get to the crux of the matters.
Another great answer. Don't talk to me about that. Ask me after the year. Marie says, Tommy Rees got to go. He's Kevin Stefanski boy. He said in an interview, he's there only for Kevin Stefanski. Get him out of there. Also, Tommy Rees is coaching for his next job. Marie spoke on it. This is what she had to say.
You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job.
The Chicago newspaper reads, defense has his hands full against Sanders. The defensive coordinator said this season Shedeur throws outstanding screen passes and Shedeur is always calm. That's a fact. Remember I was telling y'all that Shedeur holds the defensive lineman longer so they can set up the screenplay. He just doesn't rush it. That's a skill. People want to downplay that like that's not a skill. It's a skill that you can see on film. Shedeur will be looking straight. The screen pass is setting up to his right. He's still looking straight. The defensive linemen are still running towards him. So they're effectively going to be eliminated from the pay. They're not going to be able to chase it down on the back end. You also have the offensive lineman getting lined up in front of whoever the screen is to set it up. Shedeur is really good at that. Every quarterback does not do that well. We just watched Joe Flacco not do it well. We watched Dylan Gabriel not have success really at all with screenplays. So you got to give people props for what they're doing is better. You got to give them their props. I think we will see a defender targeted Sunday. I hope so. Bears seem like they're ready for Shedeur, not taking him lightly. That's a smart thing to do. True. Tommy said he came to Cleveland to learn from Stefanski. Man, oh man. Tommy, you was on Nick Saban's staff. You learned from the best. I don't know how much you learned from Stefanski. Facts. That's how he keeps getting a 50-yard screen. It is stuff that Shedeur is doing on film that is so much better. When they run a single high safety, remember I told y'all cover one was one of the first defenses we really went over, and that was that single high safety. You can have the other safety be a robber, play in the middle of the field. You can have the linebacker play the middle of the field. Shedeur is staring that safety down and is not allowing that safety to move so he can set up passes to throw over the top to the outside. And also, that's what he did on the Jerry Jeudy play. He had that single high defender stuck. He had him stuck. He couldn't move. That's why the play for Jerry Jeudy works so well. So it's some stuff that Shedeur is doing that's really well. I heard on ESPN yesterday that Reese is a potential candidate for the Michigan job. Hey, live your best life, Tommy. Live your best life. Yeah, Wet 11's not the Wildcat. The Wildcat is not it. Hey, live your best life, Tommy. I'll say it this way. I don't think Tommy Reese has shown enough this year where I would say we can't lose him. That's how I'll put it. If that's the case, Tommy needs to ask for a refund. That's a fact. Man, that's a fact.
How much has Deshaun been able to do in these couple of weeks, and how's he looked doing what he's doing?
Yeah, Deshaun's doing more out there on the practice field, more than he did last week, and we're going to have some good drills with him today and get him some plays. And so I think each and every day he's doing more, and it's just great to have him out there. Like I've talked about, it's been great to have him on the sideline for our young QBs. It was great to have him there for Joe. He and Joe had a really good rapport. Of course, they were, battling against each other, warriors that saw each other, of course, in the AFC, for those years. So just been a pleasure to have Deshaun here this year. I don't know where we'd be without him.
High praise for Deshaun.
Yes, some scout team and some simulation. A lot of times when there's a drill going on, we go try to steal some plays in the back, and I try to play center, and we recruit some guys to play wide receiver just to give guys it's almost like having a meeting on our feet. It's a more active meeting than sitting in the classroom looking at the overhead projector.
In terms of, you talked about Shedeur's adjustment to the NFL. What have you seen in terms of his ability to pick all this stuff up as quickly as he needed to, and then also to correct his mistakes?
Well, it's a difficult task. He's really working hard at it with his study habits and making sure that you can visualize where all the players are in the various patterns. So he's working really hard at it, and there's different study guide aids, whether it be flashcards or on your laptop or watching the film or having more active meetings, walkthrough meetings. We used to do that when I was coaching at Cal and also at Oakland and Denver. A lot of our meetings were more active meetings where we're out on the turf and it's a meeting, but we're moving and we're walking through it, and it helps with, at least it helps me. It helps a lot of people, I would imagine, with visualization. Okay.
Man, oh man. Excellent interview. Isn't it something when people actually answer the questions? Isn't it something when it's not all based on media narratives and they answer it based on football? It's refreshing. It's been the whole year we've been waiting to get somebody to speak this way. Just tell us what it is. It took so long, but Musgrave, he gave us that. He gave us that. Shedeur, looking players out of position and passing his man open was something DG never could do. That's a fact. He couldn't do it. And that's because the timing wasn't there and the understanding wasn't there. Bill was a blessing in disguise for Shedeur in Cleveland. I agree with you, Zedric. Tommy Reese wanting to go learn from Stefanski is a fireable offense. You got to be able to recognize a bad coach. Bye, Tommy. Yeah, I don't. He had options to go be a head coach in college, and he decided to stay here another year. So that's questionable. I agree with you there. 7 players still not practicing: Denzel Ward, Dylan Sampson, David Njoku, Jack Conklin, Aiden Huntington, Zach Zenner, and Wyatt Teller already been ruled out. Yeah, they ruled out Wyatt Teller early in the week. There's some real sorcery going on at these universities. Maurice, it's a lot going on. A lot going on. According to Kevin, he is calling the plays. He did say that in his post-game interview, post-game press conference. Doggy Bone, what's going on? What are they going to do with Deshaun when his contract is up? I think Deshaun is going to be on the team next year. I don't think the way they restructure his contract, he's going to get his $43 million next year. He has an $80 million cap hit. He has a cap hit for the next year, so they might try to rewrite it or rework it before next year to add some void years to try to clean out some of it or stretch the dead money hit is what I think will happen. But I think Deshaun will be here next year on the team. Compare him to a Jameis Winston who has a great arm, but defense reads his eyes and turns that into picks and turnovers. That's a fact. Mary Kay tried to get her dig headline, but I appreciate Musgrave gave her dust. Yeah, he said,
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Mary Kay, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. They're not falling for it. They see you. They see you for who you are. They don't talk about anybody else but Shedeur. Wet 11s, that's a fact. One question that wasn't about Shedeur, everything else was about Shedeur. Every other question was about Shedeur. Could the safety even see that guy on his drop? Could the safety even see that guy on his drop? Do you mean could the safety see Shedeur on his drop? On that play? Safety was just looking straight back in. That's why he just looking at Shedeur's helmet to see which direction he's looking. The Cleveland Browns coaching staff leaks more to the press than the Trump White House. These dudes know they are getting fired, having the press talk them up as candidates for different jobs. That's a fact. Can someone catch me up on Deshaun? Was he a terrible quarterback? Deshaun was a top 5 quarterback before he came to Cleveland. He came to Cleveland and he was bottom 5 quarterback. He was bottom 5 quarterback. Oh, you're talking about Dylan. Could the safety even see it? Maurice, probably not. Probably not. Probably not. Maurice, they probably couldn't see Dylan. They couldn't see him. They couldn't see him. They could not see him. All right, let's keep this thing rocking. They are enamored by his 2-time coach of the year. Yeah, I don't know why. It ain't showed me nothing.
Kevin Stefanski. And so how this whole thing has just kind of evolved.
All right, let me pause this. Y'all, I need to pause for the calls. Give me about a minute. I'll be right back. Give me a minute. I got to grab something. I'll be right back, y'all. But we're going to keep this thing going. There's more to the show. There's more to the show. So stay with me. I'll be right back. All right, we back. Appreciate y'all for staying with me. We back. All right, we're gonna get to afternoon drive. After afternoon drive, we're gonna get to the Matt Barnes and Acho situation. So we still got a little bit more show to go, y'all. We still got more to go. Did the Cleveland Browns talk about Deshaun like this? No, they kind of just hated on Deshaun the whole time. They just kind of hated on him. Give Watson one more year as QB2. Mentor Shedeur. Watson may not have the skills to play anymore, but I believe experience and mind can still be elite. I agree with you. Cleveland has been all about Shedeur since the draft, and every move to hide this since was a mistake and hurt this team. That's a fact. Mary Kay, you are the worst. Deshaun was a great QB on the Texans. Things fell apart when the scandals happened. I agree with that assessment, Marie. Those 2 coaching of the year awards got everybody fooled about Kevin Stefanski. I agree. Okay, so if Deshaun is a backup to Shedeur, he will learn how to be the best, beat the opponent's team's offense. Stefanski is not intelligent enough to counterattack. A deer in headlights if things don't work. Yes, Stefanski predetermines what he's going to do, and that's the problem. 12 has been fun to watch, win or lose. Leprechaun was ugly. It was hard to watch when he was out there. Peterlin, love him. Yeah, gotta rock with Peterlin. You're right on that point. Funny thing is, they're probably not the only organization that would be responding like this with the spotlight on them. That's a fact. That's a fact, Shanithia. That's why I didn't like Kellen Moore. He was a trash backup for the Cowboys. Was better as a play caller before helping the rookie QB in Dak. Acho needs to be removed from the podcast. He is a clown. Just remember the way we're going to talk about him today. This is his curtain call. This is Acho's curtain call on the podcast. This is a curtain call. This ain't a highlight. This is a curtain call for sure. All right, let's listen to Jonathan. Jonathan is going to let y'all know where the biggest mistake was made, and I totally agree with him.
They believed in Stefanski. Then Stefanski and everyone around the Browns were like, no, we like Dylan Gabriel more than Shedeur. So like puppets, they all just followed along and said, okay, great, let's go with that narrative. Let's do this. And you fast forward, and as far as the major storylines around the Browns in the previous year, you just flat out miss. And it's all because you believed in a guy in Stefanski that is not proven to be worth it. So that's why, like today, the whole conversation turning into let's give Stefanski a bunch of credit and let's give Stefanski this and that. It's obvious where it came from. It's them trying to protect the idea that they've been very, very wrong about the major Cleveland storylines for the previous year.
Also, all you had to do was keep an open mind on Shedeur.
That's it. It really wasn't that hard.
Like, I was just
wasn't that
Switzerland.
hard. Yeah.
Like well, I'll be honest with you, I kind of sided with you on a lot of this stuff, meaning like there was no sense in believing anything the Browns said when it came to those two quarterbacks because of how I felt before the draft about either guy and who was going to be an NFL quarterback and who wasn't. But also, like some of the changing narratives that I should just believe the Browns because we got in season after what we saw in camp.
With our own eyes. Yeah.
Like, I guess my point was, like, there are quarterbacks that if you had – or sorry – there have been times where I'd be more inclined to lean into it and go, listen, let's give the benefit of the doubt to this organization. You don't fumble the bag. We're the worst trade in NFL history. And then your mea culpa is we all own that, which means literally nothing. And nobody pays the piper for it. And then I'm just going to blindly trust you.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
exactly.
Even having been in
he finally wrapped it up at the end. I totally agree. This is the thing I called out from the beginning. The Browns don't have a track record where we should trust them. Early on, it was summer, probably around September. I kept saying the Browns have not done anything where we should give them grace. We should never give them grace. Now everybody is on that same page, so I can respect it. They finally made it here. Acho was the girl that started the group TOC, then got replaced. Speak Easy may be up for sale. Shanithia, I saw your comment when I was listening to them. That's why I was laughing. Ken straddled the fence the whole time. Yeah, Jonathan is the one who just was on his side, and he stood there the whole time. He was there the whole time. He's a failed backup. Acho is a clown. Yeah. To me, this is probably the worst look for Acho, what he's doing and saying right now. It's PTSD-induced trauma on fans and media from decades of losses that keep them on a love-hate cycle with players and staff. Sports therapists should be thriving. Yeah, I agree with that. They've been through so much that they can't see the good anymore. The good doesn't look good because the first thing they do is question the good versus accept it. So that's a problem. So I agree with you there. All right, so let's go here. All right, so I'm going to.
Your game is speaking. Your game is talking.
I'm going to try to find the part that I want to play. It is going to be, I think, one curse word in here, but that should be okay for me. They should have ding or flag me for that. But let me go to the transcript. Where we at? Because it's a certain thing that Matt is going to say that I want to get to. All right, right here. This is where we at. Let me get to it, y'all. This is from Matt.
Media that is trying to jump the bandwagon now. That we're talking all kinds of shit like Emmanuel Acho and some of you other motherfuckers that are trying to do amazing breakdowns now about how good Shedeur is. And we knew this was going to be this when a month ago you were talking shit and screaming and loud and wrong all you motherfuckers, there's probably about 5 of us. So maybe I'll go to the second hand. I'm going to say maybe I didn't see her. Maybe there was 10 of us that have been riding with this Sanders family from the jump. And now that Shedeur is doing this thing, all you punk asses stay on that side you pick, because we're not accepting no new entries. I talked to Dion. He said I can be in charge of the fan club. Fuck all y'all. Next subject.
Fuck all y'all.
Hey, that's all I could play. But his sentiment, I totally agree with.
Everybody stay on that side when they switched up. You switched up, stay on that side, man.
Stay on that side. You switched up. It's full over here. The rope is out. Security is there. It's no more room. We got no space for you. Stay on that side. I even like the fact that he called Acho out by name. By name. That is the that's allegedly, Van. Allegedly, Van, that did happen. Allegedly, that did happen. Aditi is in hiding. I haven't heard her trash takes in a few weeks. Stay on that side. Aditi, Ja Morant has a word for you.
Everybody stay on that side when they switched up. You switched up, stay on that side, man.
Browns fans give too much grace. Think New York Giants fans would have rioted if their team was this bad this long. No one in NY wants to be called a Jets fan. That is a fact. I am now a Matt Barnes fan. Yeah, he put it out there. Coach of the Year is not decided by the NFL. AP News chooses. That's fact. It's the AP Coach of the Year. So that's a fact, Shalia. Acho said he didn't think Shedeur could play without his dad. That is it. Acho says so many things that this is what we're going to do. I'm only going to show you the titles because I'm not going to put y'all through seeing what Acho actually said. It was too much. It was too much. I'm like, man, I can't even sit through all of this. I can't even sit through it. So we're just going to look at the titles on their channel. We're not going to watch it. Hey. I don't want to see nothing y'all got going on. Let's just look at some of the titles from them. That's right, Detroit Gemini. No new entries. We full over here. We can't accept nobody else. Security said it's going to be a while. We full over here. All right, speak easy. Let's just look at some of the titles when it comes to Shedeur. They put up Shedeur's better than Caleb. They tried to call Matt Barnes a fanboy, defending Kevin Stefanski. He's not racist. Let's keep going. Shedeur is not being set up. Okay. Let's keep going. Shedeur removed all doubt. Funny. Y'all thought he couldn't make the team. I didn't forget. Fire Stefanski now. All this time, Acho was still saying Stefanski is a good coach, and he is the best coach Cleveland has had since 1999. Shedeur has arrived. So these are the titles. It's now or never for Shedeur. They were trying to push Shedeur out the league a couple weeks ago. Hey, Shedeur hasn't proved anything. So y'all, these are their titles. You can't trust Kevin Stefanski with Shedeur. People been said that. They've been said that. Dylan Gabriel should hate Shedeur. Y'all, I'm just reading y'all the titles. They're trying to get Shedeur benched. They're talking about Shedeur Sanders fans trying to get Shedeur benched. Stefanski tried to sabotage Shedeur. This is where Acho was saying he didn't. He's calling him Coach of the Year. So y'all see it. And all I'm doing is showing y'all what he was doing. Shedeur Sanders is the new face of oppression. Emmanuel Acho said that. These are his words and his titles on his channel that he bought from Fox Sports so he can have the viewers since this was Undisputed's channel. I bet y'all didn't know that. He bought the channel. That's how they got the views up. He still hates Shedeur. Y'all see it. It's there. Y'all see what this is. He said winning doesn't matter. He needs stats. I couldn't put y'all through this. And have y'all listen to this. So I just got to show y'all the titles of what he said. The most important game of Shedeur's life when he was able to play. This is them. Y'all. It was supposed to happen this way. Shedeur was supposed to be bad today. These are your titles. It's going to get worse because then a couple months ago he's saying Shedeur can't play without his dad. He was saying all this stuff. And if you go even further back, when he was on Fox Sports, he was talking about, originally he said Shedeur would be a great pick at number 2 or number 3 in the draft. Then he switched up and said Shedeur probably wouldn't fall out the first round. And then he started saying, oh, I don't know if he has a talent. Shedeur doesn't have anything that jumps off the page. He started saying all those things. Now, mind you, this is after the college football season. It was no new film. Then Emmanuel Acho had the nerve to say Shedeur didn't run at the combine. Shedeur didn't run at the Big 12 Pro Day. Shedeur didn't run at the Colorado Showcase. So he doesn't know if Shedeur can run. And then in the same breath, he said he watched film on Shedeur. Well, did Shedeur ever run the ball at Colorado? Did they ever run zone read plays where he kept the ball? Did Shedeur ever run for any touchdowns, Acho? Here it is right here. I'm not making it up, y'all. I don't know if he can win without Dion. These are their titles, y'all. These are their titles. They want to use Shedeur's name, Coach Prime's name for views. They don't want to have honest conversations. They're being contrarians. So this was a switch up. Matt Barnes was correct. Emmanuel Acho was the one who was saying Shedeur was doing things wrong in the building. That's why he was not able to play. Those were Emmanuel Acho's words. When now everyone sees they were never going to give him a shot. They were never going to give him a shot. They was never going to give Shedeur a shot. That was the plan. So Acho was wrong for a very long time. I don't have a problem with people calling you out for being wrong. He was mad that Bucky called him out on Twitter. He had an issue with that. So I'm only going to play a very small part of this, y'all, because y'all know I ain't doing it. We ain't going to ride this out for long. I'm going to play a very small part of this.
The problem is when you're accustomed.
And I'm going to show y'all how weak this argument is. He is never attacking what Matt Barnes said. Matt Barnes specifically said he switched sides. He changed up. That's what he's being accused of. This is his response. It's nothing close to that. And I'm not playing this whole
to
thing.
A lie, and people lying about you, even the truth sounds like hate. I don't placate. I speak from revelation. I don't speak for response. But here's what frustrates.
You sound stupid. I'm sorry. This is when you say all those extra words to mean nothing. I don't speak for response, but you're saying this on a podcast. You're asking people for super chats. All of this stuff. Come on, man. Acho, we not stupid, man. We're not stupid. How are you telling me you don't do it for a response when you put it on the podcast? Why would you put it on the podcast? Why would you say, hey, let's read these super chats? Why would you read the comments if you weren't looking for a response? These people are not having honest conversations, and now he's trying to defend himself. And even in his defense of himself, he's never going to go at what Matt Barnes accused him of. He's never going to go at it. He's just going to say he's going to bring race into it. That's what he's going to do first. He's going to bring race into it. After he brings race into it, he's going to say, I've been talking about them in a positive light for all these years. Then he's going to talk about, I've been a backup. Then he's going to try to say, people not watching film. They don't know what cover 1, cover 2, cover 3, cover 4 is. Acho, we know what all that is over here. That's not going to work. That's not going to work here. Acho, this is the facts of the situation. You were a backup. You couldn't make it in the NFL. That's a fact. I never made it to the NFL. That's also a fact. But you can't insult my intelligence with using extra words that don't mean anything. Did you stick to what you saw from Shedeur in college and speak on it, or did you flip-flop back and forth like Van will call you out for? You flip-flop back and forth. You don't have a defense for it. So now you're trying to call them out on IG as this morning talking about, oh, well, let me come on your show. Let's do it live. You can come on Speak Easy. You didn't even organically build this show, Acho. You didn't even organically build your own show. And y'all might ask, what are you talking about? What do you mean he didn't organically build his own show? The Speak Easy podcast started 3 months ago. The Speak Easy podcast started 3 months ago. I'm going to show y'all a little something about YouTube today. So if you go to any YouTube channel, let's get to the top so I can show y'all. Let's get there. You click more. You go to the top, you click more. It's going to show you when this channel was started. So I don't want y'all to just believe what I'm telling y'all. I want y'all to see it with your own eyes. So we're going to blow this thing up. We're going to make it larger so y'all can see. Y'all see the date? This channel is from August 17th, 2016. Acho is trying to call people out to say they are doing things for clicks. When you went and bought the channel from Fox Sports 1, this is Undisputed's original channel. You didn't even build your own podcast. Acho, it's right here, man. It's right here. That is how this ended up on everybody's timeline. This ended up on your timeline because you were originally subscribed to Undisputed. Fox tried to use this channel to push other shows that failed. Acho bought this channel for them. So Acho, you didn't even build this from the ground up. You tried to pull a fast one. Acho, this is the last time you will be on this show. This is the last time we will talk about anything you say. We will not fall for it. We will not fall for it. All the stuff you're trying to do with never answering or responding to what you've been accused of is the weakest thing you can do. When you didn't even build it from the ground up and the receipts are here because YouTube told on you. That's it for Acho. When I showed y'all the people in Cleveland and I said at this point, we are not going to talk about these people anymore, Acho is in that category. Acho is in that category. He's in that category, y'all. This is not a real person. He didn't even get it from the mud. He didn't even, he did smart business to buy the channel instead of starting from the mud because he would probably have 3,000 views right now. He would not have the views he has. So, Acho, do what you do, get it how you live, but we're not even going to entertain you over here. We saw the switch up in real time. The receipts are there. And you're asking for super chats and don't even have the presence to even read the super chats. Now I got to be on some Suge Knight stuff, y'all. If you want to tune into a stream where your voice is going to be heard, we are going to read your super chats. Whether you agree or disagree, come to Offtharecorddee 3 times a week. Don't go to these people. After they made this statement about this situation, they pick and chose what super chats to read. If you're going to be the people who don't understand football and go put Mary Kay on there every week, you're going to put these people who don't understand football on there every week, and then we're going to let you super chat the whole time for a 2-hour show, and we're going to read 4 super chats that we want to hear at the end of the show. Come to Offtharecorddee, where we're going to read your super chats. Your voice is going to be heard. This is going to be a conversation. We're not faking the funk. We're not buying views. We're not buying channels. We're not buying subscribers. We're not afraid of disagreements. And we going to get to it. And it's the last time for these people. They're done. They're done. Finish. Finito. We're not going to talk about them no more. We're not going to talk about them. We're not going to help them grow because they don't want to do it organically and grow on their own. We're not going to do it. We're not going to do it, y'all. So I know y'all probably thought the Acho thing would go differently, but we're not going to do it over here. We're not going to do it. We're not even going to play his response he had because his response was that weak. It was not worth it. So I know y'all was wondering. Y'all was like, man, we're going to be stuck listening to Acho. No, you won't. No, you won't. Not over here. Not over here. Not over here. Let me get to y'all. Let me get to y'all comments. Let me get to y'all comments. Let me talk to the people where we actually have a conversation. Let's get to it. Where did I leave off? All right, here we go. I don't watch the show because of Acho. Talk to him. Anything with Shedeur's name get clicks. Acho is out there griffing for clicks. Talk to him. Shedeur and Coach Prime needs to send each media member an invoice because they're made money off of the family name. That's a fact. Shedeur stimulus package. And don't get it twisted. Matt will run down on you if you have too much to say. That's a fact. I thought it was funny how Acho was hurt because Bucky called him out on Twitter. That's a fact. Of course, Acho was sued. You know that. He lives in a glass house. He had to end his show when Shady was talking about his situation with you know who about doing you know what when they work for you know what company. Acho said Dylan was better than Shedeur too at one point. He's been all over the place. Stay on that side. Acho talks in backup and tether babble. The best backup reporting for duty. We talk about backups today. Oh yeah, this is where I fit in, y'all. Hey, I know all about not making it. I know all about being a backup. I know all about not getting to the success. I know all about having to switch up my career because I couldn't make it in what I really want to make it in. I know all about that, y'all. I know all about it. Have some seats, man.
Everybody stay on that side when they switched up. You switched up, stay on that side, man.
Stay on that side. Who does he think he is? That's a fact. Zedric flip-flopping pays big bucks. Talk to him, fam. He's not FB. He thinks he's on the other. Okay, I said it. That's a fact. He on the other side. Spin it any way you want. The audience is not dumb. K. Dot. Talk to him, CA. Acho sounds exactly like your kid's sound effect. That's a fact. What you got to say, Acho?
Have you ever had a dream
Really?
that that you
What else?
you could you
For real?
you want you could do so you want to,
I totally get it. I totally get it. He bought the channel that already had followers. KC. And then want to talk to people about being real. Want to talk to people about building something. How you talking about building something when you didn't even build what you have? Come on, man. We ain't falling for it. Acho looking at the stat line and skimming off the cliff notes. You clearly talking about things you don't even care enough about to spend 2 hours on Sunday with a beer and watch. That's a fact. Culture vulture. Acho has always been loud and wrong. Nasty work, Doggy Bone. Once you see they bought the channel, yeah, he started the negativity on this facility. I was watching this episode and the comments were fire. They wouldn't even read super chats. It was bad. Shanithia, talk to him. I'm not here just making up stuff. I don't get in front of y'all and just make up stuff. I don't go off the cuff and just say random things. If I'm saying something to you, it's a reason why I'm saying it to you, and we can just pull up the receipts and show it. We got the CVS receipts, y'all. We keep the CVS receipts. We keep them. Acho says he talks from an analyst standpoint. He is not a real analyst. Get out of here. Detroit Gemini, that's a fact. When he said he doesn't know if Shedeur can run because he didn't run at the pro day, at the combine, or at the showcase in Colorado, what do you mean he can't run? If you watch the film, do you see him running? These are easy questions. I guess on your film, he never ran. But you watching the film. Okay. Acho is anti-black, so nothing he says or does surprises me. KC, nothing. He got to stay on that side.
Everybody stay on that side when they switched up. You switched up, stay on that side, man.
Charmaine, this is his curtain call. Take a bow. This is your curtain call. You won't be back. Contel Pro. Maurice, you know it. I like the Carr Brothers breakdown on Shedeur, Chase Daniels, others who watch breakdown and clearly see something there, being there and not gaslighting us. That's a fact. Chase was gaslighting in the beginning because he was saying Shedeur might not make the team. So he switched up quick once he saw what it really was. Acho is a plant to hate on the Sanders. They know it, and exactly why Matt called him out personally on behalf of Dion. That's a fact. They tearing Acho up in his own comment section. That's a fact. He feeling it. He's somewhere. He thought he cooked. In that episode. This was him last night. Crying. He gonna cry in the car. I agree. The Carr brothers are cool. Acho has flip-flopped himself into off the record D grave. Yeah. Benito. Curtain call. Curtain call. Y'all remember Vince Carter when he did that dunk in the dunk contest and he just went like this and said it's over? It's over. It's over. It's over. This damn near dirty macking. That's a fact. Where are we? I'm right here. Add to your tagline, off the record D, where your voice will be heard. Oh, I'm gonna chop it. I gotta save that. I'm gonna save that, Shanithia. I like that. Acho is on the ops list. Yes. The list keeps growing and growing. Acho moving like a true tether. Dang D, Acho is your least favorite person, and I'm here for it. He is. He is. Because I don't like when you get up here and you try to talk like you have a higher level understanding, you know what you're saying, when half the time you're playing contrarian just for your show. I don't like that. Be who you are. If you went up and had a conversation with Acho, he wouldn't say a third of the stuff he says that he says on his podcast. Because you know he don't even believe it. That's why he flip-flopping all over the place. He a fish out of water. He just wiggling, trying to get back in the water. He's a fish out of water and trying to make it seem like I'm authentic. Come on, man. Why you got to tell somebody you're authentic? If you're authentic, it'll show. You don't have to tell people I'm real. I don't tell people I'm real. I don't tell people I'm this. I don't tell people I'm that. It'll show. It'll prove itself out. It'll bear itself out. You come here, you watch me a couple times, it'll bear itself out. You will see who I am. I won't have to give you an idea of who I want you to view me as. You will come up with how you view me. It'll bear itself out. That's what it'll be. It'll bear itself out. Does anyone remember when Acho was the voice of racial reckoning? He will do anything for attention and money. You remember those uncomfortable conversations with a black man? And now you bring a race into it about the black man? Which one is it? Which one is it? Remember what Jay-Z said? Is it Uchiwali or is it one mic? Which one is it? Are you ready to have uncomfortable conversations with a black man, or are you doing it for the clicks and the like? Which one is it? Talk to me. Just tell me what it is. Tell me what it is so I know where to stand. You don't got to play. You don't have to play. Maurice, you know it, trying to maintain his joy for life. It's a situation. I know you know who, you know what, but we going to keep that between me and you. Just saying. I got to finish their breakdowns. Crazy. Chase didn't believe in Shedeur. He did not. In the beginning, when they were still on Fox Sports 1, Chase said Shedeur had to make the team first. He didn't believe Shedeur was going to make the team. If you watch Colorado, first season, 12 was running for his life, and most of the time got a defense was so bad, so he is lying about running. Brandon, there you go. If you watch the film, you would know he can run. Do I need to see somebody run a 40 to believe they can run? Or do I watch the film and see him run? The 40 means nothing to me. I don't care if a player doesn't ever run a 40 for the rest of the time. I don't need the 40 to determine if you can run. I don't need the 40 to see that. So if you watch film, you will see that. You will see it. In Acho chat, they was turning tomatoes. Shady let them move on so I don't get hit. That's a fact. Acho is a definition of I be saying junk just to say it for the sake of it. Just sophisticated rage betting, engagement farming, and that can Shedeur play without his daddy was cringeworthy. It was so bad. It was so bad when I watched that. It made no sense. No sense. Todd McShay still on 1-2. Zedric. Zedric, I had that on the rundown. I was curious if I wanted to play it. I was curious because you get these people that come out here and they just be saying stuff. And I'm like, man, should we even show this? Should we show it? Hold on a second, y'all. Hold on. These people are so bad. They so bad, y'all. They so bad. Let me hit the rest of the comments. All right, let's take that down. Someone me asked Acho and Chase why they never do breakdowns of all rookies instead of Shedeur. That's a fact. Do all of them. Watch all of them. Doggy Bone just said that. We on the same page, Doggy Bone. I don't have a problem with people talking football about Shedeur. It's the nastiness and the narratives that they put out to say he can't become a successful player. Wet 11s, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. Shalia, definitely for clicks. Facts. And his man crush on Stefanski is sickening. The man sucks. Coach of the year is a media voter award. Of course he supports him. Can't go against the money. Media, a.k.a. the man. That's a fact. That's what he always bringing up. That's what he's always bringing up. He always bringing that up. Nobody cares about Coach of the Year. What have you done for me lately? Everybody knows the song. What have you done for me lately? That's what I want to know. Now, that's what he needs to make a show. What it's like not to make it in the NFL. Facts. He'll be super successful at How I Failed. Shady was the only one. Shalia, you remember, Shady was the only one who never changed. He never changed. He's the only one. Shalia, it's so bad. He loves Stefanski and always on his side. Acho trying to get a job on ESPN, period. He trying to do something. He trying to do something. Can the media talk about the other rookie quarterbacks? They owe Shedeur big time. He took all the heat for them this year. That's a fact. No, we don't need to hear him. The hate for Shedeur, don't play it. I got you. We'll keep it moving then. I had it. I saw it. And I got a lot of questions like, why does this even make sense? Why does this make sense? It makes no sense. So we don't got to show it. Another question. Have y'all noticed that now that everybody's card is being pulled, they got to start talking football? They got to start showing the all 22 breakdowns. They got to talk about what happens on the field. And then have y'all also know the people who refuse to talk about the all 22 breakdowns, refuse to talk about the things that happen on the field? Have y'all noticed that? I'm just saying. They never wanted to talk about football. They never wanted to talk about it. Dear media, this is Caleb Williams of USC and the Bears. During my battle against Shedeur, he ran 45 yards for a touchdown against us Trojans. That's a fact. He had the nerve. So I went back. I'll tell you, it got so bad, I couldn't watch this stuff no more. Because I was like, okay, did I hear this or am I misremembering it? So I probably watched his answers on 30 different videos yesterday. And I said, I cannot put y'all through this. That's why I couldn't play it. But the one where he said he watched film and then said he doesn't know if Shedeur can run, I was like, come on, man, what we doing? It was that bad. He trying to get a job. The expectation they have for Shedeur, they don't have the same for any other rookie QB pick before him. That's a fact. I was saying that last week, KC. I was saying, how does the guy who y'all all in one breath y'all said he was bad, but then his standard of what he needs to do is higher than everybody else? How does that make sense? It makes 0 sense. 0 sense. This needs to be Deion's new favorite song. They smile in your face all the time. They want to take your place. Them backstabbers. Backstabbers. My singing is terrible, but I be knowing all the songs y'all talk about. It's kind of funny. That's a fact. That is a fact. Shalia, that's it. You gotta watch people who actually stand on what they're saying. You can't watch everybody. Because that's why I was showing y'all who's honest and who's not honest. If you were writing off Shedeur that he's not going to be on the team next year, then how could we truly believe that you have an honest assessment of him this year? So you can't go back and forth. You can't go back and forth. It don't make sense. So y'all see what it is. I know that Acho one, I know y'all was like, man, we going to suffer through because we rock with you. We going to watch this Acho stuff. I wouldn't do y'all like that. just like Jay-Z said, Hov did that, so hopefully you don't have to go through that. That was me. I went through it. I watched all the garbage, and I'm like, I ain't gonna put y'all through it. So I'm definitely gonna clip that up. Hopefully y'all like this show. Did y'all like this show? Hopefully y'all liked it. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this. Shedeur was like a human shield for his draft class. That's why they were caught off guard with Cam's rawness in speech and Dart's stubbornness. That's a fact. They act like they don't know who they are now. That boy flip-flopping like a wet catfish on dry pavement. That's a fact. Just wiggling all around. The hate from former players Of all races, it's mind-boggling to me. The envy and jealousy is off the charts. I know a reason. It's all about the money and the power. You have people who have more money, power, and influence than they have, and they can't stand it. They can't stand it. I Smoke Hip Hop be giving these people the business. Yeah, he don't play. Isn't he the one? Isn't he the one to be calling people mayo? He be calling them mayo. Cliff Notes is, if he doesn't think Shedeur will be in Cleveland going forward, then was talking about he has to mature and clean up some things to be a starter. He's not paying attention. That's a fact. That's how you see the people, what they're truly about. You see what they're truly about. That's it, y'all. I feel like Ice Cube will put up a triple-double in 21, and I'm about to go drink some water out of a water hose at the end of the day. This was a good one. I appreciate all y'all support. Let me shout out everybody who supported the stream today because I appreciate y'all. Let me get to it real quick. All right. Shout out to Charmaine, C.A. Anderson, Mark 948, doubling up. C.A. Anderson, doubling up. Shanithia, all your support. C.A. Anderson, tripling up. Going from 3. I appreciate all your support. I appreciate the conversations we have here. I appreciate the back and forth that we have. So I just love it. And that's what I want it to be on this side. People can do what they do on that side. You can do whatever you want to do on that side. Always remember what John Moran told you.
Everybody stay on that side when they switched up. You switched up, stay on that side, man.
Shanithia, Coach Prime said it a long time ago. It must be the money. Nipsey Hussle. Hey, last time that I checked, I like Nipsey a lot. I like Nipsey Hussle a lot. What is up with Matt McChesney? Is that 60 or something like that, his name on YouTube? I haven't watched anything from him recently. I haven't watched it. I haven't watched any of his stuff. Oh, so he is the one to call folks mayo. Yeah, I thought it was him. He be having me cracking up when I get a chance to see him. He's part of the friend group of Aditi, Adam, Breer, Lanning, Stefanski, Dano. Yeah, I can't listen to him. Can't rock with them people. I can't play music with 11s. I wish I could. I always had a dream to be a radio host, and I wish I could tie in the music with it because it just go hand in hand. At some points, the music just resonates and it's a perfect spot, but I can't do it on YouTube. YouTube does have an option where you can add video. I'm sorry. You can add music, but it must be a pre-recorded video. It can't be a live stream. Yeah, we back. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We back at this thing on Sunday, 1 o'clock. Make sure you're bundling up. If you in the shy, it's gonna be a cold one. Wind chill is gonna be it's gonna be crazy out there. So make sure you bundle up. Y'all enjoy the next couple days. I will see y'all Friday, 1 p.m. We're gonna do this thing again. Hope y'all enjoyed the show because I definitely did. I'll see y'all soon. Peace, everybody.